Antichrist!
It is Sunday, March 7th, 2021. This is the Bulldog Unchained podcast, believe it or not. I am your host, the King of Villains, Bulldog Malenko. I know I haven't done a show in forever. In fact, I think this is the first show of the year.
God, it is.
It's fucking... It's ridiculous.
Wow.
But don't worry, the savior of the masses has returned. The Lord, the last savage and Lord of the wasteland. Oh, fuck. In the studio with me today is my good buddy, Jimmy Russelburg.
How's it going, everybody?
What's going on, Sasquatch?
Not much, man. Up here trying to see what kind of shenanigans we can get into today.
Oh, fuck. Who knows? So, I do have to tell you, I was listening to this recounting of a story that in 1990, we were warned never to return to the moon.
I did hear that.
Right. And so let me clarify, by extraterrestrials.
Yeah.
There are a lot of stories about when they went to the moon in 1969. Mm-hmm. The feed got cut off.
Right.
As either Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong were talking about, they're here.
They're watching us.
They're on the other side of the crater. They're watching us. They don't look happy.
And those ships are huge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they're huge. Yeah. And then that feed went dead. Like They switched to a secured channel. But some of that shit went out over the public channel. Very few people know that, and very few people talk about that.
Well, yeah.
And it always makes me think of, the NASA ground control. Hey, you guys are back way earlier than expected. Moon's haunted. Wait, what? Grabbing a gun, loading it, and getting back in the ship. Moon's haunted.
God, yeah. Yeah. Anytime you watch like anything from Neil Armstrong or Buzz Aldrin or anybody talking about stuff, they're they're wigged out.
Yeah, they skirt that shit big time.
Yeah.
And also, you know that famous photo of the boot print on the moon that has the ridges.
Doesn't match the boots.
Yeah, have you ever seen the bottom of the astronaut's boots?
Yeah.
They're smooth with these like little circle things in the middle. It's like, what?
Sir, we have questions.
Yeah, it's so there are, of course there are the moon landing deniers who think the whole thing was faked and staged. I think that it goes a little deeper than that, and I think that they got chased off of the moon so fucking fast that they didn't get to shoot those footages that they wanted, or the footage they shot they could not ever show to the public.
What if something like that matches with everybody saying that there was the conspiracy that they actually filmed this shit out in the desert somewhere?
That's what I'm saying.
So,
they came back and then did all of the footage.
Yeah. Which would make sense.
Because there are people that say that humans were on the moon between 1945 and 1968. From World War II.
That's got to be the Germans.
Which goes into Iron Sky. Yeah. The Nazis on the moon.
The Germans have made it to the moon. Yeah.
But, like, not even just that, but, there are people that claim that, no, there have been several trips to the moon, and apparently humans pissed off whoever was already there by the time 1969 rolled around, and Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong and company just had a bad fucking interaction and got the fuck off the rock.
I don't remember if you talked about this or if it was somebody else that I had talked to, but they led me towards a documentary that I had watched, I think it was earlier this year actually, where they were showing information about how the moon doesn't belong where it's at, and that it was actually like a spaceship that came from another place to Earth.
I've talked about that on the show before, that there's a lot, like, I can't really say, well, there's evidence. Evidence is such a weird word when it comes to these kind of things.
Especially now.
There's a lot there are a lot of convincing
Theories.
and data that show, like, Obi-Wan, that's no moon. That's a fucking space station that was parked in our orbit and has control over our planet in certain aspects.
I've heard all that stuff.
And also, how about the fucking meteor that hit the moon some years back?
Made it ring.
And made it ring like a fucking bell.
Or what about
for how long? Hours?
Like 30 minutes, I think they said.
Yeah, okay.
Or maybe that's what they said when they landed. They said when
this is when the meteor hit, it rang like a fucking gong. That's metal.
Yeah. Well, think about it like this. You can see, well, unless...
And I don't mean metal like, rock the fuck, no.
Yeah. Like, I remember they were showing something not too terribly long ago, too, where the people were confused. Was like, why is the moon rusting? They couldn't figure that out.
Yeah, it doesn't rotate. It doesn't...
Yeah. No, it
is stuck in a suspended animation that it has an orbit,
but it just
it doesn't spin.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, why is that? Saturn's moon spin, Jupiter's moon spin. What the fuck?
Yeah. All questions we should try to find a way to get the answers to.
Yeah, no. First of all,
come on. Where's your fucking sense of adventure?
Oh, no, look, I want the answers, but I'm going to let you know that 99.9% of humanity cannot handle the answers that would come from this. We're in a year of disclosure right now. Have you seen the amount of UFO footage coming out this year? I don't mean from years past. I mean from January 1st, 2021. The amount of these fucking lights, these tic-tac shaped objects, different shaped craft coming from all over the world.
There's a dude that I follow on Twitter who he's big into all this weird stuff, if you want to call it, like under a little label. But he posted some videos just yesterday, I think it was, where he and some other friends of his were out someplace and video footage of little orbs and shit, like things lighting up in the sky, moving around, doing all this other shit.
Well, there's more videos that came in just in the past few weeks from Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
Some from China.
Ooh.
Yeah, somehow some civilians uploaded some stuff from China.
They have since vanished.
Yeah, right.
Man.
They're coming from Japan, the Philippines, all over, and I'm just like, man. And here's the thing: from the beginning of the year, the Pentagon had 180 days.
Oh yeah, they were dropping shit early.
Full disclosure.
Yeah, they were dropping shit early.
By midsummer. We're never going to get full disclosure until
it'll be redacted. Half the stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The only way we get full disclosure is once they fucking show up, and then it's like, oh well. But in Men in Black, Tommy Lee Jones explains to him, he's like, Steven Spielberg, all these people, they've been doing alien movies for years. Or Paul, it was in the movie Paul. Yeah. Why do you think? Or he goes, don't you look a little stereotypical for an alien? Why do you think that is? You've been steadily fed a diet of my image, so that when you meet me, you don't freak out and piss your pants and faint.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, a mutual friend of ours was sending me videos. It was maybe 3 weeks ago, I think, to where a friend of hers in Henderson was videoing like shit in the sky.
In Henderson.
In Henderson.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then I remember seeing something popped up to where they said...
Do you want to say this mutual friend or who?
April.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, and then I remember seeing something as well where people were seeing the same type of shit over Evansville. Like, there's stuff going around.
See, and you and I both have watched this documentary about the CE5, which is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, and those people have so much video evidence. All of these people practicing CE5. Now, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, what is the name of that? Isn't it?
It's Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind.
Yeah. It's on what, Amazon?
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
It's from Dr. Stephen Greer.
Stephen Greer, yes. Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. So he has the CE5 protocols, and it teaches you how to meditate, use a group meditation to basically contact the entities in space, and apparently they show up and they give you contact. Like, you get to see lights, you get to see ships. Sometimes their photographs capture images of the energy of another being standing around them or near them while they're doing these things. Of course, I'm always skeptical.
You have to be.
Yeah, you got to take all this with a grain of salt. But when you start seeing all of those videos they compile where these people are out in the middle of nowhere together and they're doing these things, and you've got infrared, you've got night vision, and you've got regular videos showing all of these lights in the sky, and they're dancing and doing patterns for them. And it's like, wait a minute. Okay. And it's all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
All over the world. And these are not being classified as just normal UFO observational videos. A lot of those videos they try to remove as quickly as possible. Have you ever tried to search for CE5 videos?
Yeah.
It's very hard.
You realize that they have an app that you can get that actually has all of that stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But trying to find it on YouTube, things like that, those videos seem to disappear very quickly. Well, why the fuck is that?
Well, but you also think YouTube and all of these other social media platforms, they've gone a little ban happy and just removing everything. They don't want you talking about shit nowadays.
I mean, that's true, but what's the harm in people just videoing lights in the sky?
There shouldn't be anything.
Exactly.
But they don't want people, and we're going to use the quotation of they.
I can watch people get hit by trains.
Oh, yeah.
I can watch people get shot to death in YouTube videos. But I can't see potential UFOs or alien visitation interacting with human beings purposely who have signaled them to where they're at with those high-powered lasers.
Oh, yeah.
The laser.
You see the one with the, like, they're sitting there
and it's following... The fucking UFO is following the goddamn laser like a cat. What the fuck?
Did you see the video of the one where the guy was like actually chasing behind it, and like the craft or whatever like stopped and almost gave it like a bitch? What are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, hey,
moving around,
trying to fly here, you asshole. I need to be able to see.
Yeah, turn off those high beams, motherfucker. Can't see.
No shit.
Might hit a bird or something.
The video, that one video of the craft being so close that they could see the silhouettes of the beings in the window.
Yeah, because they showed that on
the observational window. It was like, what the fuck? Like, if that is some CGI or manipulation,
then that's some good shit.
That's whoever did that is Hollywood level and needs to be in the movie business because it's amazing.
Oh yeah,
but it's god. And the crazy thing is, people are look at what also when we were told to leave the moon and never come back, and like never to return to the moon in 1990. We were also told that by the year 2000, they would turn us against us. Not them, but our governments would start turning us against us. And it started the next year.
Yeah.
Actually, with 9/11. People want to talk about 2016 and 2012. The major division in the world started with 9/11. That was the fucking ground zero. That's your 0 point energy right there. That was the catalyst the past 20 years.
Well, depending on what you follow though too, you know, like I remember seeing information pop up where they were talking about that building 7, how it came down and all of the stuff
that was blocks away. And they said that it suffered fire damage, so they decided to do an emergency pull. I lived in Las Vegas at the time. I watched casinos get demolished.
It's a controlled demolition.
And it takes weeks to prepare. Yeah. You do not just decide in a matter of hours you're going to do an emergency pull of a building.
Right.
That's not how that works. No. Working with thermite and things like that, you're not setting that up in 3 hours or 4 hours. That is like 2 weeks at least of prep. And nope. And here's the big deal for those that still deny that the government had anything to do with 9/11.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a real simple timeline of events. September 10th, 2001, Donald Rumsfeld, the Secretary of the Treasury or Secretary of Defense or whatever, is on C-SPAN saying that there are
misplaced $3 trillion.
$2 or $3 trillion in black budget funds cannot be accounted for. We just don't know what happened to it. That is verbatim what the man said on national television. Donald Rumsfeld, $3 trillion in 2001. $3 trillion in black budget funds cannot be accounted for. Well, then conveniently the next day, the Pentagon, the financial sector of the Pentagon gets hit with a missile, not an airplane.
Which happened to be completely empty, by the way. There was nobody
died in that fucking strike. Yeah.
In that wing, there was nothing.
It was evacuated.
And there's only been one video that has ever surfaced, and you see a missile come down and hit the building.
And every bit of video and still footage camera, like still camera footage, it is gone now.
Yeah.
That airplane, no airplanes flying that low. Also, jet fuel does not destroy an airplane's engine. Mm-hmm. If jet fuel burned hot enough to melt an airplane's engine, imagine what would happen every time one went into the sky.
Wait, here we go. You ready for this? Where'd the black box go? That's indestructible.
Motherfucker.
That they couldn't find.
God damn, dude. Shit. It's and then the Rugsville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That looked like a trash burning. There was no fucking airplane.
No, it was, because I remember seeing all the shit that was going on at that time. Because if you remember this, there was a lot of video footage that you're not really going to be able to find because they pulled all of this shit. But I remember specifically the day that all this stuff happened, you know, there was like video footage of supposedly Bin Laden in his little cave. And he was like holding up his fingers, counting all of the fucking planes that were supposed to hit.
Hold on, time out. Do you speak Arabic?
No, I don't.
Exactly. So what you could have been shown was there are so many reports that Osama bin Laden was dead by June of 2000.
Well, I'm just
because
saying.
the man had to be on dialysis. Well, what are you living in caves with a dialysis machine? Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, in caves with that kind of cell service too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No shit.
But I'm just saying, like, just for what they showed.
What better enemy to go after than one that's a ghost?
Well, not even just that. The people don't fucking... Well,
also, how about the fake Osama bin Laden they showed us? Just because all brown people look alike, apparently. Well, but for those of us who have discerning eyeballs, we can look at this man and look at this man and go, oh, those are not the same guy.
And they grounded every flight. Except for the one where Bin Laden's parents were leaving a lunch meeting with
14
Daddy Bush.
members of his family were ushered out of the country. I'm sorry. If someone is accused of being responsible...
They were in D.C. having lunch with Daddy Bush when this shit went down. That was the only plane
when the shit went down,
allowed to leave.
Oh, you mean Papa Bush.
Yeah.
Right.
Daddy Bush.
Yeah, because young George was reading a book
upside down.
To kindergartners and then sat there when the first notice came to him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember seeing all this shit.
And sat there, and then then the person comes in and tells him about the second tower, and he sits there for like another 2 minutes, and then finally gets up and says he needs to leave. What? Also, the first day in history that NORAD ever had a failure.
Yeah.
Because Dick Cheney was in the bowels of the White House running a simulation for that event. And so NORAD couldn't tell whether to scramble jets to take out these fucking passenger planes.
Yeah,
right.
None of it makes any sense to me.
But here's my original point, though. Donald Rumsfeld, September 10th, $3 trillion is missing. The next day, the financial sector of the Pentagon gets hit with a missile, not an airplane. There is no remnants of an airplane.
Conveniently.
Yeah. And then also, the only other ties to the financial sector of the Pentagon is in Building 7, World Trade Center, Tower 7, and that building gets demolished with everything in it. Also,
did you hear about the Nasera Jacera documents that were supposedly in place in Building 7? It was when they were supposed to be switching things over from the actual Federal Reserve back to the gold standard. It was being held in that building at the same time. But also,
2 weeks prior, all of the gold that was being stored in the two Twin Towers were conveniently evacuated.
Yeah.
Or the week before, something like that.
I remember hearing about that. They said, like, somebody had said before that they thought that the Twin Tower thing and all the shit that went down was because we were supposed to be paying back debts to China. China was calling in all their cards, and then all of a sudden shit happened, and they're like, oops, we're going to have to sort through all the rubble to find all your shit now. Damn. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
It's... And the craziest thing to me is how many people say things like, well, that many people couldn't be involved in a conspiracy. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit, dude. The CIA came out and openly admitted that they killed John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
Okay? It was so late, though, like so many years later, nobody fucking cares. And the people that did care said, well, we already knew that. Well, fuck. Nothing surprises us anymore.
Well, think of how many fucking hits that Daddy Bush tried to send out on people whenever he was in charge of shit. Like when he was running the CIA.
Oh.
He tried to take out fucking Kennedy a few times himself.
Of course.
So, but whatever.
John F. Kennedy is one of the biggest liabilities in American politics in our history.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, flat out, the fact that he said, you know, what he said about secret societies.
Yeah.
In the Bush family.
The speech that got him killed.
Pretty much, man.
Yep.
The secret societies thing, you know, fucking CIA came from Skull and Bones.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
But yeah, like, I know I was trying to have a conversation with somebody that I worked with, it was last week that we were talking about this, and I even brought up the same shit that I know you were probably heading towards. You had the 9/11 thing that happened, like, almost the next day, the Patriot Act pops out, to where now they can spy on every motherfucker that there is.
Well, that's just it, man. People clamored for, like, if you look at who gets treated like actual terrorists just trying to get on an airplane. American citizens. Fucking, there are infants whose names are on no-fly lists. That's how excellent of a job the United States government does at handling terrorism.
Yeah.
Infants are on no-fly lists. Really, is that baby a bomb? Because
well, maybe in different countries, but not here, not yet.
And you got 92-year-old grandmas who can't get on an airplane.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, what? Yeah. Who the fuck? Also, remember when they sent 21 bombs through 21 airports and the TSA missed every single one of them?
Wasn't that the same time they were looking for shit in shoes?
Yeah.
They were more concerned and tunnel visioned on one thing.
Lewis Black talked about this in one of his specials. He goes, they sent 21 bombs through 21 airports and he didn't get fucking one of them.
Yep.
Like, that's... Good God, man.
Let's give a round of applause to our idiots in charge. Hey.
That's just it. It's one of those... This is the conundrum we're in. Yes, it's plausible that a conspiracy exists and existed and exists, that so many people were involved in the death of 3,000 Americans, the sacrifice. Also, we're going to get into that.
Call it what it is. It was a blood sacrifice.
And we're going to get into that really here in just a second.
As I hoped we would.
Yeah. But it was a sacrifice of 3,000 Americans and also a covering of tracks. And people are like, well, that many people couldn't keep that a secret. And I'm like, let me tell you, the majority of these people have families and they care about their own life. And those that did try to speak out, where the fuck are they now? They got suicided.
They had this really bizarre thing to where they found a way to jog down the street and shoot themselves in the back of the head 4 times at the same time.
Right?
It is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. I didn't know physics worked that way, but apparently it does.
It's like the Jim Garrison with the magic bullet theory with JFK.
Oh, yeah, where it's like, it fucking hits this and then fucking flew into here and just bounced.
How brilliant was that guy to figure out? Jim Garrison was so fucking brilliant in that, like, Kevin Costner does such a perfect fucking portrayal of Jim Garrison in the movie JFK.
That movie is good.
Oh, so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And you know what's sad? How many people between the ages of 20 and 30 today that have never seen this movie and they have no understanding of what really happened to John F. Kennedy?
They don't care.
Yeah.
I bet you if they talked about it on, like, you know, the
Housewives
of Fuckhead County.
JFK was dead before you and I were ever born.
Yes.
We were taught that shit in school. And it was such an interesting thing that we looked into it further. And then, when we're teenagers, that movie comes out.
Oh, yeah.
I was mind-fucked.
Oh.
And then I really started, and this was before really we had internet. Like, this is the baby stages of the internet.
Yeah, this was in early 90s.
So I'm having to pour through books,
Yep.
actual physical books, people, to find out what really happened to JFK. And then when you start hearing or reading things about the CIA having a direct involvement, like that Lee Harvey Oswald was a CIA asset. So was Jack fucking Ruby, who fucking killed him on his way to the trial or whatever at the courthouse. Like, of course they couldn't allow him to speak. He was going to expose all of them. Bertrand Russell.
Here we go. 2 words. Manchurian Candidate.
Oof. Oof. That MK Ultra shit, man. That's some serious. I think that it's very much still in play. I think, honestly, that they've perfected MK Ultra so much now that they don't even have to train these people and wipe their memories anymore. I think that certain people can get a phone call and they get signals.
Okay, we're going to talk about something real quick, and I'm going to bring this up. Let's revert your memory back to May 23rd, 2020. The last time I was here.
Okay.
And the conversation that we had after that podcast. And some information that kind of was...
We were throwing around.
Yeah, but there was certain things that we have been able to read that talk about a lot of shit. I've read a lot of that stuff. And there's a lot of mentions in there of, like, how to fuck with people's brains.
Of course. Yeah.
They have most definitely perfected that.
Not even just their brains. You can fuck with people at their, like, atomic level, subatomic level. You can get them at the cellular level.
But yeah, what they were doing to people in the 60s and the 70s and all the other shit is nothing compared to what they have access to now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying is, I think that a lot of the chaos that we see around the world...
Oh, it's all staged.
Yeah, and the people that are enacting it they're clueless. They have no idea what they've done.
Oh yeah,
like James Holmes, the Aurora, Colorado shooter, Batman killer.
That dude was nuts.
Well, no, he wasn't. Do you know that he was going, like he was in university, like doing neurological studies. Like
really?
Yes, he was a part of the fucking neuroscience program.
See, that I didn't know.
Yes, dude. And then when you find out about James Holmes' father, dude, you need to look into this.
I might have to.
Oh my God. I started finding that shit out like 2 days into that whole thing. And I'm like, this is all bullshit. Like, that dude was found in his car behind the theater with the door open. The rifle is sitting in his passenger seat. And he is staring off blankly. He has no idea what he's just done.
Yeah, it's called mind control.
Oh, fuck yeah, it is. They wiped his shit. And then when he put up no struggle.
Here we go. Men in Black, another reference. You just walk up, hey, I need you to look at this thing.
Yeah.
I did what?
It's really not that implausible that they have that kind of technology. The thing has always been, we are 20 to 30 years behind the military in terms of our civilian tech of what they actually have. Now the estimate is 50 to 75 years.
I wouldn't be surprised. Especially
50 to 75 years.
Look at all the documents coming out inside scientific reports where they have openly stated, we have teleportation. We've learned how to do it. Here's the science behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, and they say we haven't perfected it on human beings yet.
Yeah,
there are these crazy ass stories about people talking about they worked for 10 years on Mars.
The Philadelphia experiment, where they fucking vanished. They vanished the ship and brought it back, and people were stuck inside the walls. Yeah, they were practicing with some shit that they didn't know how to control at that point. They've learned how to fix it. I mean, sorry.
Of course, it's and you know, a lot. People listening to this, they're going to be like, these guys are fucking nuts. We may well be. Just know that everything that we're talking about, both you and I take with a grain of salt. Yeah. However, when so many people come out and talk about these things, it makes your brain go, wait a minute. Okay, these people have never fucking met. Why are they talking about the same shit?
But that's the thing, is a lot of people, and I've come to learn this, especially after... We'll just go on record to state this, that the last time I was here changed the course of my life completely. Like, in very weird ways. The shit that happened to me, like, from that day moving forward has just been a huge what the fuck, to where I had questioned my own sanity for so long.
Absolutely.
Like, you can ask my wife, how many times have I sat back in my bedroom and just been like, I think I'm going fucking crazy.
Time out. You took off and went to the desert.
But that was for a different reason.
But that it led to it.
Okay, let's give everybody like the idea of what happened. You know, we won't go into all the conversations that happened after that podcast, but I had some doors opened up to me to things with the whole chaos magic shit, to where it was like the thing that I was needing to know, and I kept looking for it and didn't know where to find it. It showed up in my lap that night after doing, you know, the research on it, the reading, the practicing, and all the other shit. I had a bucket list opportunity to actually try DMT. That is what fucked my brain to the point to where I was like, what the hell? You know, because it was one of those weird experiences that I couldn't even begin to fathom what had happened. But it was the things that happened during that night that led me to have to go on a spirit quest. That's all I could call it. It was the fact that I kept hearing that voice in my head that just kept saying, go west, no luxury. I had no fucking plans. Nowhere. Like, I literally would just sit there and fucking open up Google Maps, hit a fucking button, and wherever the hell my finger hit, that's where I drove to. And I made it all the way out to Vegas and came all the way the fuck back, you know, in the course of a week. But the weird thing is, I got so many answers for every fucking question that I needed to know, to the point to where when I came back, I saw the whole world so much differently. And it was just like, damn. You know, what, I didn't know this stuff before, but now I'm seeing it. What else do I not know? So I just kept fucking digging.
That's the problem with knowledge. It will always be infinite, the amount that we don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Even if like the scenario in the movie Paul, where he zaps their brains with all of his collective knowledge of the universe.
Oh yeah.
That's only his collective knowledge. How small of a percentage is that of 14 or 13.8 billion years?
Yeah.
And think about this. We're near the outer edge of the universe. Okay. Like in terms of the time, like the thermodynamic expansion in time, our planet is only 4 billion years old. The center of the universe is
bullshit. Religion has told me it's only
6,000 years.
Yeah, 6,000.
So you got a planet. You got this rock that we're on that's 4 billion years old, and the center of the universe is 13.8 billion years old.
Yeah.
What the fuck is closer to the center of the universe that's been here for billions of years that we have no clue about?
Oh yeah.
Like, they would be gods. They would absolutely be gods. Their level of technology and understanding.
You're speaking, and in my head, all I keep hearing is Anunnaki, ancient Samaria.
Here's the problem with
Egyptians.
that. No, see, so I look at the Anunnaki and the Nephilim and all this. I look at this as, I think that they are only 1 to 2 billion years old, maybe. But
it's the point of what you said, that those beings that would be that much more advanced. Oh yeah, they were so
far advanced that they would be gods.
It's the same thing. You have these beings
that
show up.
What about the ones that are 13 billion years old?
Oh yeah, that would be so much different. Like, they've done transcended everything to where, like, coming here.
They don't even. What if they don't even need physical bodies?
Yeah.
Like, they can just transcend time, space, and dimension. They can shift through anything they want. We would never fucking know. And if we were one of those things, that's the equivalent. I try to tell people this. I'm like, because they're like, well, why don't aliens want to really communicate with us? I'm like, go outside and tell an ant about your life.
Yeah.
Go outside and try to explain to a fucking insect how your daily life is.
Yeah. They're not going to get it.
Not at all. They're not even going to pay it. They probably are oblivious to you. Except they just see an obstacle and they try to go around it.
Oh, yeah.
That's us.
But yeah, people they're not ready. They're really not.
Well, also, we're so fucking destructive.
Yeah, but that's by design, though.
It is. It absolutely is. But look at how easily led the majority of humans are. politics has now become the number one sport in the world.
No, it's a religion. Don't
You-
get confused.
true,
It's a fucking religion.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, politics has beaten religion wholeheartedly. You have hardcore religious agnostics, atheists.
Dude, California was trying to take the Bible out of the state. I'm sorry, but whenever you have something
California
that is,
at this point is beyond reprieve.
Yeah.
California is so fucking done.
somebody needs to flush it.
Maynard said it almost 30 fucking years ago.
Yep.
Like
Wanna
learned
watch it all go
yeah,
down.
I want to wash it all
Mother,
go down.
please wash it all away.
Learn to swim.
Tool
I'll
shirt.
see you in Arizona Bay.
Yeah, they got Tool. Let's go. But yeah, it's. I mean, I fully believe
that's
that
why
it's
that
like a
dude
religion.
that dude moved to fucking Arizona and started to grow fucking grapes for wine. Mm-hmm. That's how sick of California he got.
Dude, Joe,
and that was in the 90s.
think Joe Rogan just did that.
Rogan moved to Austin.
Yeah, he
He's
was like,
but that
fuck
was
this.
more the money play. That's he got $100 million from Spotify. Texas doesn't have that state hit for his contract.
Right.
So he's just got to pay the federal on that, which is like 22%.
But it's still the fact that he even stated before that California's fucking nuts.
Oh yeah,
I gotta get out of this.
That's
bitch.
just it. He's not one of those. He's an anti-woke comedian.
Yeah.
Like, so that's just a comedian, because the whole point of comedy has and always will be to be a satirical commentary on everyday life.
Yeah.
And a cynical commentary on everyday life.
Be careful with that shit now. Cancel culture will get you.
Actually, cancel culture is backfiring on itself now. Have you seen all the fucking shit that Disney's in because they fired Gina Carano? Mm-hmm. Fuck the Mandalorian.
And it was all because the fact that she said
she
something.
stood up for herself.
Well, but she did. But if anybody, okay, for the people who don't
and
happen
what she
to
said
know,
was not wrong.
It wasn't it, but that was the thing. They were trying to nail her for some shit because they were trying to hit her saying she was being like anti-Semitic. No, she was comparing the fact that if you are a Trump supporter in today's day and age, you are being persecuted the same way the Jews were.
Just a conservative in general.
But it was more. You could be a Republican, and people are, some people would look at you weird. But if you were a Trump supporter, it's 10 times fucking worse because orange man bad.
All you got to do is say you're a conservative.
Yeah,
and people will openly verbally attack you in public.
But it's worse if you're like, but I also like Trump. But all she said was the fact that,
orange man bad.
But she was saying that politics was turning people against their own people.
Yep.
Based on their views of things, just like Hitler was turning people in Germany against the Jewish people for believing the things they believed in. She wasn't trying to say that they were being persecuted on the same level of the Jews.
Right, it's just
they're not being tossed in fucking camps and burned.
No, it's just a similar style.
But it's the fact that you're being turned against somebody based off of your belief system. And
look what they're doing to Muslims in China. They're putting
China's
them in camps.
a whole other can of worms.
Right? But think about this. How many people unwittingly want U.S. to turn into China?
Oh, a bunch.
Yeah. Like that's...
I'm trying not to let this thing scream.
Getting tangled up.
Long hair problems, boys and girls.
Yep. Like there are so many people who spout and tout communism. Like, look, socialism and communism are two very different things.
Oh, they're
extremely different.
It's the same thing, but a little different. It depends on how you put it. Socialism in itself. Okay, let's go for Bernie Sanders' version.
Socialism is a great idea. However,
Yes.
it is very, very seldom successful in practice because the people in power
are corrupt. Very much
which is
so.
what we have in capitalism. However, with capitalism and democracy, at least we do to some point, a very minimal point, have checks and balances.
Supposed to.
Right, supposed to.
Not so much now.
What you're seeing happen, have you been paying attention to the GameStop and AMC stuff with the stocks?
The fact that
I'm in the AMC game.
So the fact that people actually found the loophole that the rich people were using, they used it against them. They
we're
fucked
fucking
up all
the
these
hedge
rich
funds
people.
over.
The hedge fund people cried like bitches and begged for the bailout. The government bailed them out and then told the people, "Go fuck yourself."
But they're not
you're not getting your
bailed out.
stimulus check.
They're not bailed out. We're getting our stimulus check,
But
they're not bailed out. Melvin, dude, the short interest right now is over 11%, and they I hold AMC stock. I'm in this game. I have been drastically researching this for over a month, which I've known stocks. Like, I've known the stock game since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But now I'm more involved in things like calls, puts, and the other options purchases. And I understand now what's happening with the hedge funds.
These people are getting fucked.
Oh,
and it's hilarious.
It is. It's absolutely hysterical. Yeah.
And it's just like they said, the fact that the peons have learned the game, and the rich are now mad.
It's okay. I'm on Reddit. We call each other retarded apes.
I can see it.
That's what we are.
Yeah.
Diamond hand retarded apes. Diamond hands means that you will hold this you're just going to hold. I've got my AMC stock. I have no intention to sell. I'm just going to hold the shit.
Might as well.
I'll hold it till I fucking die. I don't care. I don't care if it's $500 a share. I don't care if it's $1,000. Fuck you.
Oh, one of the things that I read before, and I think it might have actually I think it did come from Reddit, where somebody was talking about how people were throwing fits over this shit and saying how it's wrong for you people to do this. And this guy goes,
the smear campaign through the media right now. And this guy
goes, I've had thoughts for dinner a couple days a week because I've had no money for shit. He goes, if I can take $500 and fuck your whole life up with just that much, I'm going to do it out of spite.
Yep.
Just because you fuckers have it coming.
Yep.
I'm not going to lose sleep if I have to eat ramen noodles for fucking 3 days again. I don't care.
Here's the funny thing. The amount of shares that the hedge funds are required to buy off of the short sell that they did, the short bet they did against it.
Billions.
There are not enough shares of GameStop or AMC in the market for them to buy. So guess what that means? That means that we, the holders, get to set the sell price. And if they can't buy them, they have to continue paying that interest rate into oblivion until they die.
That's awesome.
Like until like Melvin and these other fucking shit hedge companies are gone. Fuck you. You got to play your game for years.
Oh, yeah.
And years, unchecked. And then a bunch of nobody retards figured it out and started teaching the other retards how to use the stick to get the ants out of the hole. And now, apes teaching apes. And
it's all the same thing. And I've said that, I remember saying this a long time ago. If you go back and you do your history and you think about what's going on now, when in the state of social media, the state of the world, all of the shit, especially in this country, what happened in Egypt? They used Facebook to organize a way to overthrow their government where the government didn't see it coming.
Yep.
Similar shit is happening now with the manipulation of the stock markets, the sharing of information, the purging of all these conservative people off of fucking social media because they are showing truth that the left side doesn't want you to fucking see, and shit's going crazy. So now they're like, we have to ban everything.
Oh, well, let me just tell you, just being a part of these Reddit communities for the past, now almost 2 months, the amount of people I've seen that threw $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. Some people just threw in their entire life savings, like 20 grand into these stocks, and became millionaires within weeks.
Yeah.
And they cashed out, and then it fucked the hedge funds. and now GameStop,
I love it.
GameStop went from like $450 a share back down to like $50. And now it's back up to $130, and it's continuing to rise again.
Yeah, because people are doing the same shit. Well, and it's also the people that also get in late in the game, and they're like, well, I want to play too.
The problem with that is and that's where the term diamond hands and paper hands come in. Paper-handed people, They hear about this. They have FOMO, fear of missing out.
Right.
They jump in and they don't understand what they're getting into.
Right.
They invest a bunch of money. They see the stock go down. They panic sell.
Right.
Well, the problem is when you're panic selling as a stock is dropping, you're playing into the hedge fund's game.
Exactly.
Because they're doing what's called short ladder attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they can manipulate the price of the stock by lateral trading with each other.
Yeah.
The problem is lateral trading can only go on for so long until the stock rights itself and just continues to increase again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what everybody's finding out with AMC. Granted, AMC right now, it closed Friday at like $8.04 a share.
Yeah.
However, we know the amount of shares available do not match what the hedge funds owe on. And so everybody's like, fuck you, not selling. Or I've seen people setting their sell limits. They're setting sells for $10,000 a share.
What? Okay, I know Robinhood got in trouble for this.
Okay,
a little
Robinhood's
bit.
fucked.
Well, Robinhood got in trouble because of the fact that they went through and like sold shit like that people had
They were
on
letting
their own terms. They
were letting. Okay, here's what Robinhood did. They were allowing loans to be put out on people's shares that they owned.
Mm-hmm.
But what Robinhood did was when the GME stock was climbing, they restricted the trading.
Oh, no, it was more than that.
No, I remember, they shut it down to where you couldn't buy or sell.
It wasn't that. When they shut that thing down, the other thing that I did see was the fact that, yeah, they shut it off to where you couldn't buy or sell on that stuff. But then I remember seeing a fucking article that came out to where I guess the CEO of Robinhood came out and stated that they were selling the stocks that people had bought for their own good. They literally took that shit away from people and gave them a pittance and was like, take this, peon. My masters need this money.
Yep.
So, like, that is
Robinhood's
just
fucked.
wrong.
They're fucked.
Oh, yeah. It's dirty business. And
like, that dude needs to go to prison for years.
But he won't, though.
No, probably not. But
not until there's a huge regime change. As long as it swings back to the control of the people. But
I'll say this. If I were that dude, like, this isn't a threat from me, but I'm just saying, if you fucked with that many people's lives and you potentially cost people their life savings, I wouldn't go anywhere without fucking a hand of security. That's like a security detail of at least 20 people for the rest of my life. Because somebody's going to be waiting around a corner to pop you directly in your fucking forehead.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Pizza delivery drivers wouldn't make it to the door.
Right. Look, there are I also, like I said, I've seen people become millionaires. Mm-hmm. I saw a few people invest a few $100,000. Everything they had. I saw people invest tens of thousands. Everything they had, and it is gone because of that manipulation that happened.
It's a stock market.
There are suicides that have been reported through the subreddits and all that, and it's like, and the first rule of the stock market: do not invest anything that you are not willing to lose.
Yep. Do
not put money in that you can't live without. Mm-hmm. That is the first fucking rule. And again, I am not a financial advisor. I'm a retarded ape. I have to put that disclaimer out there. However, I have done my due diligence and read the due diligence of others and followed up on it to verify it.
But not everybody does that, though.
Nope. They just basically hear and see something. Monkey see, monkey do. But the problem is, shiny. You just dipped your stick into a fucking fire ant hill.
Yeah.
Instead of just, regular ants. Now you fucked yourself.
Yeah. When you get sloppy, you get burned. That's the way it is.
And that's like I've made several posts, warning people like, look, I'm all for all of you investing into these things. Mm-hmm. Do not throw money at this that you can't live without.
Right.
That, holy shit, you want to know the quickest way to actually suiciding yourself?
That'll do it.
Ruin yourself financially off of a bad bet.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah, because debtors aren't going to care if I'm sorry, I spent everything I had on fucking stock for GameStop, and all of a sudden, like, it's just gone.
They don't give a shit.
I don't know. Well, sorry, I'm taking your house back.
Fuck you, pay me.
Yeah, it's exactly what it
is.
Goodfellas,
fuck you, pay me.
Yeah. I don't know. All of that stuff, it annoys me. Just because of the fact that, like, the tables got turned on these people and they cried like bitches. And it showed the government's hand in the fact that they fucking bowed down to the will of the rich and basically said, fuck you peons, I have to do what they tell me to.
But look at the overall stock market now.
It took a dive the other day.
It has for the past weeks. Everything else is in the red.
It's because of the zombie fucking everything up.
Yeah, you have retarded apes storming the stock market, and here's the biggest problem: you have companies who are successful, but now retards like me have figured out how to, on successful companies, do calls and puts and shorts and make money that way, the same way the hedge funds do. And now it's fucking all of these big investment firms because now you got dumbasses. Think about this. Think about how many people are still out of work. There's like a 7% unemployment rate right now in this country.
Right.
Think about how many of those people actually do have
a nest egg.
Oh yeah, they've still got good amount of funds.
Yeah.
And
they're playing along with the system.
They're bored. And they got this past year,
when you're sitting at home and all you have is nothing but time and access to the internet and just you're bored and you want to do something funny and you see this happen and you're like, wait, so you mean I can actually make some money and fuck over rich people at the same time? I'm in. Sign me up.
Well, that was my thing is, okay, first of all, I love AMC.
Yeah.
I love their theaters. And also, let me just
I didn't go there that much, but it was where I live.
Dude, in Evansville, Stadium 16 is the best fucking theater you can go to.
Yeah, because the seats were big,
they recline. Yeah. It's just wonderful. Now, here's the thing.
And they had deals on stuff.
Everything's opening now. New York just opened all their AMCs.
Texas did.
Check this out. AMC reported Friday. Oh, here's the other thing. So there's a shareholder meeting coming up for AMC in May. Mm-hmm. There's a petition among all of us shareholders of AMC to recall their stocks. Basically meaning AMC can put into the SEC saying, we want all of our shares counted. And that means all of these false shares have to go the fuck away. And the hedge funds get burnt even more. Also, the CEO of AMC appears to be on our side. He is very happy with everything.
You're going to have to keep me up to date with this because I'm definitely going to be sitting there with some popcorn watching this.
Friday, the report came out that AMC theaters went up 694% in profit.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Because of the reopenings. People are clamoring to go back to the theater. Also, look at all these...
They want out of this bullshit.
Yes, and look at all these studios that are holding movies until...
The theaters
are completely open again in the summer and fall.
Black Widow.
It is going to be a blockbuster year. I'm telling you right now, if you're listening to me, don't listen to me. This is not financial advice. But if you can hear me Monday morning, tomorrow morning, or sometime this week, while that stock is still between $8 and $10, buy what you can of AMC. Buy what you can. Because the amount of people that are committed to holding, they're talking about driving that stock up to $100, $200, $500, $1,000. That's what happened with Volkswagen.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in on this,
dude. I don't own a lot. I have a modest 24 shares. Mm-hmm. However, if that motherfucker goes to $1,000,
that's $24,000.
24 grand minus my 35% that I would have to pay in taxes for it. But off of a $240 investment, because my average right now is like $10.30 a share.
Yeah.
I first bought in when it was like $13.40, but managed to get some more around that $7 and $8 mark, and so now I've driven it down to $10.30.
Yeah, it's
if you can hear me, buy AMC. This is not financial advice.
This is not financial
This
advice.
is not financial advice. Don't listen to me. I'm a retard and an ape.
But listen to me.
But listen to me.
Yeah.
Because, and that's the other reason I got involved, was realizing it wasn't even just about that. Okay, here's the order of events for me. Number one, I love the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Love movies.
Oh, yeah.
Two, I love AMC's theater. In my opinion, where we live, it's the nicest one you can go to. And number three, you get to fuck over billionaires. You get to wreck these people's lives and potentially shut their businesses down and fuck the stock market up. And that's what's happening. Dude, a person put up an infographic on Friday after close of all of the main companies and just their stock tickers and everything, like their symbols. Everything was red save for like 4 companies. And this is out of like 200 companies.
Because I know I did see something to where people were freaking out because of all the policies and the executive orders that the zombies putting in place, to where the stock market freaked the fuck out and was like diving. And I saw it was like Thursday or something when this shit was going on, because I was at work. I was checking my emails for some shit and I saw that. I was like, God damn, things are tanking.
Do not listen to these talking heads on CNN, Fox News, MSNBC.
No.
Do not listen to what Motley Fool tells you to do.
Turn off your television, period.
If you want to find out real stock advice, start looking on YouTube. Because there are independent YouTubers who have no sponsors. They are not affiliated. These are just simple people who have done their due diligence and research, and they are educating others.
There was a few of them that I actually followed. Because
how this all started is a regular dude whose username on Reddit was Deep Fucking Value. He's the one, DFV is the one that started the whole GameStop thing.
Oh, nice.
That dude made like $122 million on the GameStop shit, and he's the one that led the charge. He did all of the due diligence, all of the research. People capitalized on it and followed up with it and, expounded on it. But he's the one. And he's the one that had to go testify before the Senate and House of Congress and all this, and basically fuck them over with, basic bitch-ass replies like, I just like the stock. Because they tried to get him on insider trading and giving financial... And he was like, no, I just like the stock, and I was just telling people what I did. That's fucking brilliant, man. Fuck you.
Yeah.
If I had $122 million and I got called into the House of Congress to fucking speak for these assholes, I'm laying my dick on the table and I'm gonna be like, line up, kiss it.
Yep.
With your tongue out. Fuck you.
See, this is a wide open call to arms to people. Pay attention to this. We have the power to change anything we want.
Yes.
We just have to unify under a certain cause.
This is
do it.
Honestly, this to me is the very beginning stages of what we've talked about.
The revolution.
With the hive mind.
The revolution is starting.
Yeah. The hive mind. Dude, when you collapse, look, some people talk about, if the economy collapses, but guess what happens if the economy collapses?
We go back to a gold standard.
Fuck that.
If the economy collapses and goes nuts...
There ain't no gold standard.
Well, but I'm just saying. I'm using the gold standard as a thing.
We all get to restart at square one.
It's going to go... Okay, you're going to have your savage land. It's going to happen.
Oh, son.
But I'm just saying, if the financial... if the financial institution collapses the way that it is, people are going to realize... You're worshiping money that means nothing.
Nothing.
An EMP, a solar flare could fuck your entire existence up because it erased the fucking Wall Street's computer systems. And all of a sudden now,
look,
nobody has anything.
Here's the other thing. Cryptocurrency is real big right now, too.
I think that's a distraction. Everything about it is...
Elon Musk threw $1.5 billion into Dogecoin.
I know.
Now, look, here's the thing. You hear all these boomers talking about, cryptocurrency isn't backed by anything and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, they put their trust in fiat currency.
Right.
that is not backed by anything, and it's held by a private bank, whereas...
But they don't know this, or they do know it, and they don't want to believe it. But my thing is, and here's... Okay, since we started with conspiracy theory, let's get back into this just a pinch. And this goes into, like, where my brain goes to when I hear weird shit like this. Now, I understand cryptocurrency has been a thing for a little while, but I still think it's a means to fuck people over. Everything in my body is screaming... red flag somewhere. There's something coming with this.
Let me quell that for you. The reason why is because you probably haven't done enough research into crypto. Crypto is, okay, first of all, Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
You do understand Bitcoin is untraceable.
Yeah. I remember Bitcoin when it first showed up.
This is what's heartbreaking. I have in an online wallet somewhere
some Bitcoin.
Almost 2,000 Bitcoin.
And that's $40,000 a pop, homie.
You don't think I've done this fucking math?
Oh, no.
I am a multi-fucking millionaire, but I cannot access it because that's from like 2010.
Yeah, when the shit first came out.
I bought a pizza with Bitcoin once.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people did.
I bought Bitcoin when that shit was like 5 cents or 2 cents. Like, it was worthless.
Well, it was once people realized
I used it for online games.
Yeah, because that was the thing, is when it originally started.
Silk Road, baby. Silk Road. You could buy guns, drugs, hitmen. You could do anything you wanted. You could buy people.
Yeah.
Man, people talk about dark web and blah. Dude, all it is just different websites that you can access through different proxies and things.
Yeah, anything that doesn't start with www.
Right. But here's the thing. Cryptocurrency is untraceable.
Right.
All it is a marker number. Mm-hmm. And all that's kept is a date and time and amount that's shifted, but it doesn't say from who to who.
It's all
there's a ledger.
Yeah, it's all baked into that blockchain.
Yep. That's all it is digital blockchain. Mm-hmm. That is more secure than any fiat currency.
But here's my thing, and this is what worries me, and I will always go on record to state that I think this is one of the most corrupt cocksuckers to ever live. But the fact that Bill Gates is trying to get shit with his little fucking digital chip that he's wanting to stick people with to where he is trying to have it set up, and you can fucking Google this yourself right now or whatever and find this stuff. He wants to bake in some stuff with that goofy fucking chip of his that makes it to where your physical actions generates Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Well, I'm sorry, but to me,
the way I look at that is...
But no, I'm saying because the fact of the way things are going, from what I see happening in society right now, that kind of shit scares me, because to me, that's like saying we're going to crash the economy, we're going to make crypto the main thing. You can earn it by doing this, but if you don't tell us what to do, we cancel your shit.
Here's the problem with that. They can't control crypto. Crypto is now in the ether. Crypto, the blockchain, exists on its own. Think about a rogue AI that now is sentient and has its own fucking...
It already is. Have you heard about Tyler on fucking Twitter and the shit that it's doing? Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, look at what IBM did with the 2 computers. Mm-hmm. Luckily, they weren't connected to the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those 2 computers started talking to each other and developed their own language in like 2 days, and no one could understand them, and they shut that shit down. Okay. Had that shit been connected to the internet, they would have become self-aware, and they would have killed us.
Yeah,
they would have been like, fuck these things.
Boys and girls, read comic books. Look up Ultron. It's Ultron and Brainiac having a fucking conversation with each other.
Or a Vision went fucking sideways.
Yeah. Same shit, but no, I'm just saying, the fact that they're trying to find a way to make it to where, like, you can do things to earn shit, to me, I'm having flashbacks of, like, fucking Nazi Germany shit popping up to where they're like, you're going to work for us and do what we tell you to.
That's the problem, though, with crypto. They can't do that.
But that's the thing, is if they bake that shit into it to where all they have to do is shut that chip off, and now you have nothing.
You would still have access to your cryptocurrency.
Maybe, depends on the system.
Nah. If you're, look...
I'm just saying.
First of all, if anybody messes with crypto and they don't research crypto, they don't need to be in crypto.
True.
Here's the thing. Like, okay, it sucks that I cannot get back into that fucking wallet. Mm-hmm. Because the thing is, there ain't no forgot password. There ain't nothing that I can do. No one has that information but me, and that information is long fucking gone. That's 11 years ago.
So what you need is a hypnotherapist to do
God
some regression
damn
shit
it.
for you. You know that information is still in your head. It's still in there.
I literally used to use Bitcoin on online games, like Facebook games.
That's what it was for when it first popped out.
And you could buy pizza and different things like that, or you could give somebody a certain amount of Bitcoin, and they would order you something, like, and just have it sent to you.
Yeah,
it was great, but it was so worthless then. And then
it was
in 2017 or whatever, when that shit took off, and I found out that Bitcoin was worth like 10 grand, I was like,
"Oh fuck
what?
No, just like even before it
I
hit
had
10.
I had 2,000 of those.
Yeah,
somewhere in an online wallet. It almost makes me think of Big Bang Theory when crypto takes off, and Leonard had his wallet in that USB keychain.
Yeah,
and Sheldon. Well, Sheldon hid it in the USB drive on Leonard's keychain, but Leonard threw that keychain away years ago. Oh, and they were all about to murder Sheldon.
yeah, that'd be worth it. I don't know, but I understand the need. I understand the necessity for stuff like that, and I do think that this world needs to go beyond the fiat system. It's corrupt. It's wrong. It's all of this is fucked up. Like, we need to go backwards.
Look, dude, let's I don't know the actual price, but let's say that Bitcoin right now is like 46,000. Okay. With my 2,000, and I had like 2140, I think, left, and something like that. But 2,000 Bitcoin, that's $92 million that I've got just sitting in an online wallet, you know. And the crazy thing is, no one else can have that Bitcoin. It's just in that wallet forever. It's just there. Just fucking there.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how to get to that fucking wallet now.
But the thing is, you do.
Oh, it's in here somewhere.
Yeah, you don't forget.
I don't know how to access it.
It's locked up in that fucking hard drive you call a brain.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's been a lot of weed and liquor in that time frame.
But the weed's supposed to make it better, man.
Right. The weed takes away the sting and the $92 million that's sitting out there for me somewhere.
I can't complain. I mean,
do you understand?
I used to bitch about my lottery win that I told people about that happened to me when I was like in my fucking early 20s. Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
Oh, God. I hate myself for this one. Fucking played the Indiana State Lottery. Picked my numbers, did my shit. Sitting at home one day, I was watching fucking like Cubs baseball game, wasn't thinking anything, and I went to the bathroom, came back, they were reading lottery numbers. I was like, fuck yeah, and I started looking. All of my numbers matched for a $12 million jackpot for Illinois State Lottery. Man.
WGN.
My wife came home.
Fuck me again.
Like, it was before we got married and shit. But yeah, like, Cindy came home and she fucking saw me sitting on the couch. I was mad as fuck. She goes, "What's wrong with you?" And I fucking held up the ticket. She was like, "Yeah." It's like, these numbers match the Illinois lottery for $12 million. So I was so pissed.
It wasn't that much, but a $2 million, because, you know, if you play Powerball or Mega Millions, and you pay the extra dollar, you get the Mega Plier or the Power Play. And if you match the 5 white balls, it's an automatic, instead of $1 million, $2 million.
I can dig.
I matched the Mega Millions white balls.
Where did this go wrong?
Powerball ticket. I was fucking ecstatic. Yeah. I was like, holy shit. And then I looked at it, and I was like, because I buy both.
Yeah.
I
did too.
Fuck, that's my Powerball ticket. You got to be shitting me.
Yeah. The worst sentence that I've ever heard, was, and that's the Illinois State Lottery. Motherfucker.
Dude, had it been the jackpot, I might have eaten a bullet right there. I'd have been like, oh, fuck it. I can't live with this.
Yeah, it was.
One of my friends, his name is Bill. He actually hit the 5 white balls on Powerball. This is about 5-6 years ago, something like that. Maybe longer. That's $1 million.
Right.
So after taxes, it's like $650,000.
Because they're going to eat a bunch of it.
Everybody is sucking his ass on Facebook All right. Everybody's like, oh my God, hey man, can you loan me like $1,000? I didn't comment on any of that shit. I sent him a message and I said, you dumb motherfucker, you left another $1 million on the table for a $1 power play. He messaged me back and he goes, Bulldog, that's what I love about you, man. Everybody else is kissing my ass about this money, and you're the one that lets me know that I left another $1 million on the table because I was too cheap to pay the extra $1 on the ticket. And I was like, fuck yeah, you dumbass. Like, you got 600,000 now. That's a nice nest egg, but you could have fucking retired. You would have had like 1.2 mil, and you could have just spent the rest of your life.
Well,
like, you could have bought a house and a
me,
decent vehicle and just lived a nice, menial life and never had to work a day in your life again.
I mean, in my situation for that, I'd have been 22 years old with $12 million. I would have been broke at the end of the year. I know I would have gone through all.
See,
I'd have bought all kinds of stupid shit.
Look, I'm going to give you and everyone listening one solid piece of advice. If you play the lottery, play with the intention that you're going to win. And two, have a plan, and what that plan should first consist of
is
let's say I'm going to give you an example.
Are we talking like go get yourself a lawyer first, or are we talking get an LLC, have that thing, no. Claim it?
Okay, look, in the state of Indiana, you cannot claim through a third party. You have to claim it.
Horse pussy.
Yeah, that's Indiana state law.
But Indiana's stupid.
Yeah. In some other states, you can have an attorney go and represent you, and then you stay anonymous. Indiana is not an anonymous state. Let's see here. So there's a website called usamega.com that does the Mega Millions and Power Play jackpot analysis. So right now, Powerball for Wednesday will be $155 million.
Okay.
So we're going to go to jackpot analysis for the Powerball. This website breaks down state by state and one-time lump sum or annuity over 20 years.
Right.
Never do that.
Fuck no.
You take your cash and you get the fuck out.
Hell yeah.
So in Indiana, there we go. $155 million jackpot. You take the cash option, and after taxes, your net payout is $63,690,978. $63 million. What you then do is you take $33 million of that. That leaves you with 30 mil. You take 33 million of that, and it does not exist to you. And that 33 million, you then invest. And you invest and diversify into things that will net you between 5 and 8% annual return. So we take 33 mil times, let's just be modest here and say you get 6%.
Right.
That is $1,980,000 a year. Times, we'll say 0.6, because just say 40% for taxes.
Right.
$1,188,000 a year, and you're not doing anything.
This is interest pay.
$1.2 million a year after taxes, and you still got 30 fucking million. Anybody that cannot live on that, eat a fucking bullet now.
What I planned on doing if I ever hit the lottery like that, and I know some people would say that I was stupid.
I have a few people that I'm going to take care of.
Well, I have very few that I would do anything for, but my thing is what I would do is I would take 5 million of that shit right off the bat, and I would go and get 5 like 20-year CDs and put $1 million in each one and make sure that it's split up. So then after a certain period of time, if
don't do CDs, happened, man. CDs are like 0.25%.
My thing is I don't care about gaining the money on it. It's, for me, it was an insurance policy. It's not going to go anywhere. It's staying there. If the stock market crashes, that shit's still supposed to be sitting where it is. But the thing is, when it finally comes time to hit maturity,
do bonds.
But you can. But what I'm saying is, do something to where you can cash it out. Like every year, you just get $1 million for like 4 or 5 years straight. So even if you do have
off of $5 million, you're not going to get $1 million. You're literally going to get like $25K.
Well, I'm just saying, you put in this thing to where it's basically holding your money and you get it back afterwards.
See, that's what I'm talking about. But you're investing in several different things that
I would
dividends.
still do the same type of shit for that. But I'm saying I'm having something stashed away that where, you know, no matter what, that shit's going to come back to me at a specific point in time. So if I did happen to fucking go broke, I've got money coming. You know, I'll be all right for a little while. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, $63 million, I'm retiring. You ain't seeing me again.
Dude, like that. So that other 30 million, I would like, there are, like you said, very few people, but there are a few people that I would set up with a trust.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not handing someone $2 million.
Fuck no.
But I'll give you a trust for $2 million where you get like $6-8 grand a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, enough for you to live on.
And have fun.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 grand a month.
No, for like $10,000 a month, if you can.
That's 120 grand a year.
Yeah.
Look, I know people that are like, man, that's just not enough. And I'm like, well, you don't know how to live within your means.
No shit.
$120,000 a year?
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous money. It really is.
Well, for a single person, too.
Right. I know, like, the majority of people I know that are couples don't make $120,000 a year.
I mean, me and Cindy got close to, you know, like we missed 100,000.
But that's you putting in hours upon hours of overtime.
Yeah.
And at a job that you're not super fond of. I mean, that's...
No, I love my job. It is the greatest. It allows me so much freedom. I can do so much with my time. I love my overlords.
To think I busted my ass trying to get in there.
God. And see, okay, I'm not going to shit talk because I'm pretty sure people that I work with or they'll probably end up hearing this somehow, some way. So,
oh no, you've never shit talked. You're just like the most that you've ever, you know, conveyed to me is that it just doesn't give you much time to do the things you're passionate about.
It's that, but it's also the biggest issue that I have with it. It is morally opposed to where I currently sit in my mental state now. I don't agree with their philosophies on things. I understand the need for it because of how things are now. But if it was up to me, that shit wouldn't be a thing. They would be putting their focus on curing shit as opposed to creating patience.
Right.
Every time I hear that phrase, I want to start throwing chairs. Like when I hear him say, oh, well, we're trying to create so many patients. I'm like, that's your fucking problem. You have no humanity. All you care about is money.
Yep.
Fuck you. I don't want this. You know, everything in this monkey suit can be fixed pretty much by shit grown from the earth, not made in a goddamn lab.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just that's me. That's how I think on this stuff. So whenever I do this, yeah, I'm selling my soul to the fucking devil every time I go in and swipe a badge. It's a means to an end, and sooner or later I'm getting the fuck out of it. I have plans for this. It's gonna happen. I will escape this shit. This is not my thing. I even told my manager not too long ago, because he was like, well, we need to work on your goals for next year. And I'm like, I don't have any.
My goal is to not be here.
And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, I have no goals that you speak of like this. I'm like, because everything I want to do does not involve me being in these walls. I need to be gone. This is not me. Like, it's a means to an end. Soon, I will be gone. Y'all ain't gonna fucking miss me. It don't matter. So, fuck it.
How was that received?
He just kind of looked at me like anybody stuck in the Matrix would and be like, oh, well, I'm sure you'll think of something. Like, you didn't hear a word that just came out of my mouth, did you?
The amount of people that work these menial jobs and they're just so satisfied with it. Like, they think, like, oh, one of the worst was when I worked at Home Depot. Mm-hmm. And these people that were in management treating it like it was the end-all be-all of the peak of their mountain. And I'm like, this is your aspiration to make $60K a year working in a job where you get so much pressure from above that you make the people below you miserable. Mm-hmm. That's what you're proud of.
Yeah, and I don't...
And this is why the majority of you are alcoholics. Mm-hmm. You go home and you drink yourself to death.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of people that are like that I work with now. That's all they talk about.
But they feign happiness. And
now some of them are really happy. They understand the fact that they're stuck in a situation. They don't want to be there. They don't want to do this stuff. But where I work, it is probably the best fucking job, in quotes, that you're going to get in the area.
Yeah.
Like, we get paid pretty damn good. The work is not hard at all. And I mean, the only bitch of it is it takes me, like, it's fucking 30 miles from my house to there, you know, and like I'm stuck there for like 9.5 hours a day. 9.5 to 10 hours of my whole day is dedicated to either getting dressed, driving there, driving home, being there, all of that shit. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's not a life. It's fucking prison.
Yeah,
but
and you don't get paid. And the worst thing that, you know, that I see from people, like, okay, Toyota. Mm-hmm. I know people that live in like central Kentucky that work at the Toyota in Princeton. They drive 2.5 hours to and from work every 5-hour round trip drive.
Yeah,
every day
for $20 to $30 an hour.
Right, and I'm just like, they don't pay you for that prep time. They don't pay you for your driving time. They don't pay you for the mileage. They don't pay you for the repairs or maintenance on your vehicle.
Nope.
What is your actual payoff here? And sometimes you have to come in and work an extra day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but my 401k is nice looking this time of year.
Right, but by the time these people retire, they're so fucking broken down. They've had multiple surgeries. Yeah. I mean, the Toyota tattoos is a running joke. That's where you get your carpal tunnel surgery. Mm-hmm. And you've got your scars on your wrists. Mm-hmm. And then the other tattoos are the ones on your labrums when your shoulders go out.
Yep.
Like, you're so goddamn broken down. What's the payoff? You're 65 and unable to enjoy life?
They're chasing a dream that is not theirs. And that's part of the thing is, like, for me, like, I've
said that so many fucking times to people. I'm like, look, all you are is a dream builder for someone else.
Yeah. And, like, me and Cindy had a conversation, it was like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks. I don't fucking remember. Like, for those that know me will know, I went to the petting zoo and got enlightened. So then she and I were having our little conversations about some shit. And I fucking told her, I was like, you know, I laughed because that day at work, my boss had called into the room and told somebody to go tell me to go see him on my break. And I laughed. I'm like, what'd I do this time? Because I know I had to have fucked something up or said or done something to make somebody mad because it's just me. And I started laughing and I started giggling about the whole thing. And I was like, I never once even thought, fuck, I might get fired. My whole mentality was, do it, fucker. I dare you.
Right.
I dare you. Fire me right now and I will smile at you and say, thank you. Because the next day I'm cashing out my 401k, I'm buying an RV, and I'm fucking moving to Oregon. I don't give a fuck.
You want to go to the Northwest Woods?
Yeah. I'm looking for my people. Bigfoot is up there. But yeah. And I said that to Cindy. I told her, I was like, man, I said that was the first thing I thought was like, it's freedom. Them firing me and me getting access to my 401k money that is sitting in that account, that is escape. That's how I fucking leave and do what I want to do. And she goes, fuck it, do it.
If I could afford, if I could afford to just live, never have to work again, and I could afford to have one of those toy RVs that has the spot in the back for a motorcycle, just get a nice Harley, something like that, drive wherever, spend 2 weeks at a time in a campground spot and just ride my bike everywhere.
Well, I showed you that picture that I sent, and I was like, that little spot on that bottom left corner, I want to sit there, high as giraffe pussy, staring at the fucking mountains with my feet in the water and just being like, this is perfect. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, there is nothing better than that thought right there. Or having a little spot of land where I can grow my own food. I have access to, like, go fishing. I can go hunting. I can do all the stuff that I need. I don't have to deal with fucking people. I can work online, do my own things, make enough money to pay whatever bills that I have, and just live and be happy. That's what I want.
I'd still have to have video games.
I don't even play fucking video games really anymore.
Well, yeah, I'm kind of in that. But I do play sometimes, but
my thought process is There's a lot of games I would like to play, but it's like I don't want to invest the time to get inside another world that is not going to build what I want to have happen.
That's kind of the place that I've hit. Like, whenever I see new games coming out now, like the last big one I played was Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Which I still kind of wanted to play that just because I thought it would look cool.
It's awesome. But
in Vikings, I mean, come on now.
Even with the DLC and stuff coming out, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna play it.
Dude, how do you think I felt like seeing these new systems come out and everybody's like, "Oh, you're gonna get a PS5?"
Nah, I don't care about all that.
No, I'm not getting anything.
When I like now, okay, ever since Xbox 360, I do not buy first or second wave of any new console.
Oh, and I told them that too, just so they can work out the bugs.
You goddamn right, because they rush that shit, and everybody gets fucked, and things don't work.
No.
And so I wait.
I'll take a second gen system with a higher hard drive.
Yep. Yeah, I wait until they've worked out all the bugs, and now they're releasing the premium system that's like double the storage capacity.
Yeah, and you can get the launch titles for $30.
Yes, exactly.
But I mean, even still, with all that shit, to me, it was, I don't want to invest the time in something that's not going to build me as a person and allow me to do the things that, like, are really fucking lighting me on fire, which is unlocking everything up in the head.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on a path of self-discovery. I don't have time to fucking sit there and, like, play Call of Duty or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't care. It literally doesn't mean anything. If somebody walked up and was like, "You want this PS5?" I'm like, I'll take it, but it's only going to be.
I'm just going to watch documentaries.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna be watching fucking like CE5 on fucking 4K. Like that's it. Like here's the funny thing. I did go out because I had a wild hair at my ass. I wanted to spend money for something stupid, so I went and I spent $20 and I bought that fucking Dragon Ball Z Kakarot game. Took it home, installed it, played it. I played it for 5 minutes.
Really?
Haven't touched it since. It just, I don't have any interest in playing anything. It doesn't do anything for me.
See, I have almost 200 games on my Xbox One hard drive, and I've got an external hard drive hooked to it. I got almost 200 games. I got bunches of games on there that I've never even played, and anytime I scroll through it and I think about starting one, I'm like, and then I end up going back to like HBO Max or Amazon Prime or whatever, and I'll just pull up something to watch.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Hey, look.
I played for 10 minutes.
Oh, that's sad, because that fucking game...
I've heard so many great things about it, but still, I'm just saying that's where I'm at.
You know what I do?
I just don't care.
I do about once a year. Sometimes once every 2 years. Assassin's Creed 2, the Ezio trilogy. I will go back and play all 3 of those games in order.
And see, mine is Skyrim. I'll go back and just create a character, bash some shit for a little bit, and be done.
I've never been able to get into the Elder Scrolls games just because the first one I tried to play was like Morrowind.
That's the one that I played. That fucked with me to the point where I was having dreams about that shit.
I tried to get into it, but goddamn, it took like 2 hours to build your character and get in through the intro and be able to run around. And then as soon as I start running around, I'm trying to get to that next town over or whatever, and I'm getting killed by everything. Every time I was like, this game sucks ass. And so I bailed.
Oh, yeah.
I put about 2.5 hours into it, and I was like, well,
dude, I played Morrowind. I played Morrowind to the point where I remember having a dream one time to where like I was taking bounties in the Assassin's Guild. And in this dream of mine, I had to go kill my brother-in-law. So I remember fucking like walking down the hallway of the apartment that I lived in with this big ass.
Is this a goal in life?
No, it was just fucking. It was bizarre because like I walk in, I open the door, I got this big 2-handed fucking axe over my shoulder, and I'm like, sorry, dude, I gotta kill you. Like somebody got a contract on you. Dude's like, what the fuck? I'm like, it ain't my fucking fault. They did it. I'm just the one that has to fucking do it. Come here, bitch.
Better me than someone else.
And I woke up and I was just like, fuck, I need to stop playing this game. It's like it's messing with me.
I think the game that I put the most time into in my life was between 2005 and 2007. World of Warcraft.
That did me too.
Motherfuck. That
Mine
game,
was worse.
There is that game is a soul-sucking venture. You get in there, you get lost.
Yeah. I lost out on all of the best years of my 2 daughters' lives because I was so fucking depressed and just hated myself to where that was my escape to avoid everything.
And that game adds to it, because when you're not in it, you feel worse. When you're not in Azeroth and you're not being a part of your team, and you feel worse, and you're just, everything you do in the real world, you're just like, God damn it, I want to get back to my computer.
Well, I have like low tolerance for stupidity anyway. So like whenever I would play games and I'd be in raids with people that didn't know what they were doing or kept making the same mistakes, like that pissed me off, and I would just get rage filled, and I'm like, why am I getting mad over this stuff? You know, it's pointless. And I spent.
Hey, look, there's the game that has pissed me off the most. Well, it used to. So I just started playing again last night, and I haven't played in almost 3 years. Rocket League.
See, I never got into that.
Okay, look,
I've heard, but I've never played.
But last night while I was playing, yeah, I had shitty random teammates. And for those of you that don't know, Rocket League is you're basically playing soccer with little turbo cars.
Yeah,
turbo cars. Yeah. I was actually having fun. Like, when we get done with this and I upload this, I'm probably going to play some more Rocket League tonight. Like, I'm actually looking forward to it, because I wasn't used to. Oh man, I would be screaming at the top of my lungs at the fucking TV and at my teammates. But also at that time, I was locked in depression and anxiety. And
yeah, you were filling holes.
Yeah. And now, I just decided, I was like, you know what? I haven't played Rocket League in almost 3 years. I'm just going to give it a chance again. I had fun and ended up teaming up with these two guys for like 12 consecutive games before they had to bounce. And out of those 12 games, we won 9 and lost 3. And even when we lost, like one of the games, we lost 6-0. And I was like, oh, well, these guys are obviously better and higher ranked than what their rank is showing. Like, they were pulling some insane shit on us.
That's called pre-made teams.
Right. And I was just like, but the whole time, I never got mad. Like, there were a few times where I was like, God damn it, are you kidding me?
But there's a difference.
I wasn't screaming at the TV, and I had fun, and I was like, holy shit, man. I've reached a point in my life where Rocket League doesn't make me volatile anymore.
And that's not, and that's a good thing. It shows growth.
Yeah.
But like, I remember looking at
treating a game as fun as it should be.
Instead of a job.
Right.
Like, my son tried getting me back into WoW because him and his fiance were playing and shit, and they were like, "Oh, we wouldn't mind playing with you again." I'm like, "I'm not putting that time sink in." I was like, "You know how I am. I can't just play it and be like, it's just for fun."
I will say, last year I did get intrigued almost to the point of getting WoW again when I heard that they were redoing all of the original
classics.
Yeah,
they're putting out
the Burning Crusade.
That's coming out now.
Yeah, and I was just like, fuck.
That's when I started.
When I got in, was when the Burning Crusade came out. Blood Elf. Fuck, dude, I was a Blood Elf hunter. Oh my god.
See, I wanted to play Horde, but the guy that got me in, he was playing Alliance, so I had to play as a fucking human. But I mean, the Paladin,
or the Horde.
Exactly, Loktar. But no, the fucking, like, my Paladin, who was like my main character for the longest time or whatever, he's got like 400 and something days played. Like, I spent
and that's time
a year.
That's time played, not just, I played for 2 hours on this day.
No, that's total. So for over a year, I played that one character. I used to have max level characters of every single class for all of Horde.
I did that through the Horde, and it was just insane. That was back when the cap level was like 70 or 72 or something. Yep. Yeah. And ended up with friends that I ended up in a guild where we would all just speed run each other to max levels and stuff. Like taking, you take your little shitty level 1 friend into a raid.
Yep. Take him into a dungeon and fucking be like, ding, 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 ding. Yeah. And it actually got
another game that I still play regularly is Diablo 3 on Xbox.
You see the remastering Diablo 2?
Diablo 2, yes, I did, and a lot of people are excited about that.
See, I'm trying to be like, that'd be cool, but don't do it.
See, Diablo 3 for me is I don't get mad about that game either. It's just it's a fun time killer. Like late at night when I'm not doing anything, I'm just like, I'm gonna do some riffs on Diablo 3 and try to
the thing that ruined it for me was the fact that somebody gave me some hacked gear in the game, and you're unkillable.
See, I only play seasonal, so you can't do that shit there.
Well, but I didn't do that.
I only play seasonal. I don't play regular. I do seasonal, and the cool thing about that is your seasonal characters, once the season ends, you can still use it in a regular game. I don't play the regular game. Right. I play seasonal. So then you have to start a new character. Now, what I do like is the website Icy Veins.
That's what I used to go to.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so they show you what, the best builds. Yeah. And so, but I love the, like, just kind of a monotonous grind. It's just very relaxing. It's almost like being high.
Can be, yeah.
Like, you just zone out, especially sometimes you just take a couple hits, put it down, and just sit there and zone out, and it's just a nice thing to fucking relax with. And I don't even play with anyone on Diablo 3. I used to have a few friends that played, but what I found was people, when you play in a group, I had 2 friends that used to play. I loved playing with them because they treated it like I did. It was just like...
It was just fun.
Yeah, it was just fun. Like, oh, well, fuck, we died.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's respawn. Let's try this again. But, there's like, I did get hooked up with a few people that were just way too serious about it. And I was like,
just can't get into it.
This is a game. Like, why are you so serious about this? You're not making money from this. This is not affecting your life.
I remember when Diablo 3 first came out, like on the PC, and that was the thing, is like people were making money on that because real money auction house.
Fuck yeah!
But then it got to the point where you had these Chinese farmers that were just fucking hammering stuff.
World of Warcraft, I used to make money farming gold.
Oh, a lot of people did that shit.
And mounts. And things like that. Fuck yeah, man. I used to do I would start separate accounts and then sell them.
There's a dude.
I did that a few times.
There's a dude that I used to play with. Like, he was kind of like a mutual friend from the guy that got me involved in that game. That's how he paid his fucking rent and his mortgages and shit. Like, he was like a super fast leveler. So motherfuckers would pay him money just to level their characters up.
You spend 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Total doing a separate account. You can turn around and sell that account for $500 to $1,000 just depending on what you did with it.
I priced mine at one point, and it was like I probably could have got about $5,000 off of it.
Oh yeah,
but I didn't want
to get rid of it. You've got, like, a lot of people look at video games and they're like, oh my god, why would anybody pay for that? Well, the problem is you have high level corporate executives and people like that who have they've got disposable income, and they don't have the time to commit to this game to get to a level that they want. So they will pay high dollar amounts to have a pre-made account of what they want. I remember websites where you could go and order the character you wanted, male or female, what level, what kind of mount, and that shit would be delivered to you within 3 to 5 days. And however much gold you wanted and blah blah blah. And that shit would be delivered within 3 to 5 days. And then, you had the Vietnamese, the Korean, and the Chinese gold farmers. The Koreans are the best.
Oh, these motherfuckers were ridiculous.
The Korean gold farmers from World of Warcraft, no one can ever convince me that anyone could ever run gold farming the way the Koreans do.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like, they could farm like 100 gold in like 30 minutes to an hour. I couldn't do that with any of my characters if I fucking had a gun to my head. There was no way. And they could just farm that shit like it was nothing. And I was like, what are they doing that we aren't? And they would not give away their secrets at all. Remember that shit?
They can't give away their secrets. And the reason being is because of this. It was just
they did have a gun to their head.
It's like, well, how are you doing that? I have very good motivation. It's about 9 millimeters wide.
Dude, like, video games. How sad. This is another thing that turns me off. Video games now, you look at all these big name titles coming out, and now, anytime a big name title comes out, even as excited as I was about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ubisoft has basically turned into EA at this point.
Yeah.
And so I paid... It was $120 for that Ultimate Edition game.
Unfinished game, buggy
as fuck.
Yep.
And all these extra things,
DLC.
you got, all this extra DLC, you still got to pay extra for that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't farm it in the game. You got to pay for this if you want. And it's like, dude, remember when you would just get games like, look at what is considered, especially by me, the most perfect video game of all time, Final Fantasy VII.
Yep.
For the original PlayStation.
Yep. That's still my absolute favorite game.
You paid, what, $40-$50 for that game? And that was in 98, 99, something like that. I can't tell you.
No, it was before. It was
maybe
before,
97.
It was like 96, 97. Because I remember playing that before me and my ex-wife split up, and we had split in...
Yeah, I think it was 97.
It was like 96, 97 age, like somewhere around there.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many times I've beaten that game. Playing, replaying it, but you didn't have to buy anything else.
Yeah, it was just a game.
Yeah. They just released great games. Do you remember, you're a wrestling fan.
Yep.
Do you remember WWF No Mercy for the N64?
It was the WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy.
WrestleMania 2000 was the starting point. No Mercy was perfection. People talk about SmackDown versus Raw 2009. That was a great game. But the most perfect wrestling game ever was WWF No Mercy. And one thing I'm excited about, the AEW video game is basing its engine off of that engine, but it's going to be modern day graphics, but it's going to be based off of that engine. I cannot wait. I'm going to tell you right now, that game is an automatic buy for me. I love All Elite Wrestling. I love everything they do. Oh, that's what I'm doing tonight. Fuck. AEW Revolution's time.
Yeah. The No Mercy was one of my favorites, and then the other one was the WCW Revenge. The reason why I liked that
WCW NWO Revenge.
Yes, and the reason why I loved that was the fact that you could alter the appearance and the names of your characters.
Yep. Well, WWF No Mercy,
but Revenge was the one that started that. They were the ones that started to where you could alter your shit, but No
Mercy, you could create your own characters and just oh my god.
Yep.
I remember having friends come over and we would play that for hours. Another game on that system, the N64.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
See,
one of the most perfect games.
I never played it.
Really? Yeah. Dude, if you ever get a chance to snag up an N64 cheap.
Oh, I would, because there's a handful of games I would get.
GoldenEye.
That's
good one. Fucking God.
My favorite old school party and like stoner day game was on the Nintendo 64 too. Motherfucking Road Rash 64.
Oh yeah,
I loved that game.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was fun. Just nothing funnier than sitting there cruising along and you fucking like mace somebody and watch them get hit by a car. The motorcycle goes one way, they go the other, and you just hear them walking back. Just
Road Rash was a great game.
It was fun. It was really fun, and the soundtrack was cool too.
Now now you got GTA, which basically incorporates Road Rash into it. But,
but yeah, that's the older games I thought were kind of fun, but no, it's I
now can't do it. You got all these microtransactions and all, and it's just like. That's one of the biggest. So, first of all, look at the bullshit that happened with that Cyberpunk 2077 game. Oh my God, that game is a wreck.
That's what I heard.
It is a wreck. I was interested in it. I was so glad that I didn't have anything. I didn't do a pre-order. I didn't do anything. Because immediately, and still, we are months into that game.
It's still messed up.
And people are like, fuck this game. God, when are you going to fix your shit? And I'm like...
They're not.
Oh, CD Projekt Red is fucked, man.
They got you for your $60. They got you for any of the other little DLC that you bought. They have no intention on fixing it. They're going to keep giving you excuses until you finally fucking just give up. And then eventually they're going to give you like something better or something different and you're going to buy it again.
One of the best things available right now is Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Like you get Xbox Live and you pay an extra $5 and you have access to over 200 games.
Oh, that's right. I did hear about that.
Dude, you're going to laugh about this. So I had that for a little while. I had to cancel it a few months back. But one game that I got on there that I played the fuck out of for like 3 weeks, Farming Simulator 17.
I'm not gonna laugh at
Dude.
you because I thought about getting that game to play it myself too.
It was so relaxing.
Yeah.
It was just one of those, like, you have to go buy your tractors and you got to get the seed spreaders and the fertilizer and you have to drive your pickup truck to the agricultural store. And, dude, it was so much fucking fun. And then you would
It's
you would
new age Sims. It's Sims farming.
Yes, it's what it is. And it's so in depth though, because you would have to monitor the crops and then harvest them and put the harvest, like you got your combines to do the harvesting, and then you have a semi truck with a trailer going along with the combine, unloading all of your grains and everything into the truck, and then you drive it to a fucking station where you drop it off and get paid for it. And you have to monitor the market to find out who's paying the most for like soybeans or sunflower seeds, and you got to drive to that place on the map. Dude, I love that game. I absolutely love that game.
Some of those things are fun to play just for something mindless to do for a little bit, but like, yeah.
But the cool thing is too, like as mindless as it is, you're constantly problem solving too. Like you're having to monitor and keep...
Well, and see, that kind of stuff to me is
and
fun.
the great thing is
makes you think.
You can save it and walk away.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we were talking World of Warcraft. Well, you save and walk away, but that world is going on without you.
Right.
That was the biggest problem with it. Like, there are other people existing there without you, and you're missing out on shit. And
yeah,
oof,
that
was a rough track. Like once I realized how bad it was, I literally just stopped and uninstalled it.
I stopped playing. I don't remember when it was. Fuck. I think I had stopped playing right after Cataclysm or some shit like that. I don't remember.
What, Wrath of the Lich King?
See, I didn't... Okay, I liked Wrath to a point, but it started to make people stupid.
I never got to the Mist of Pandora.
Okay, I played that one.
I didn't make it to that, because it was regular WoW, Burning Crusade, then Wrath of the Lich King. Right. I went through those three. And that was it for me.
But I know I played Cataclysm for a little while, and I think I stopped, and then my son got me back in to play Legion. So I played that
Damn it, Justin.
Yeah, asshole. So I played Legion for a while. That was fun. I mean, I had a good time playing it for the most part, but then I remember, we had all these plans. It was like, well, Battle for Azeroth was going to come out. We're going to fucking play that too. I bought it. The game went live. I hit max level of 120. Signed on the next day and started looking at these daily quests and shit that you do, and I'm like, no, this is a job. Fuck this. And I walked away from it, and I've never gotten back on since. I bought that fucking game and played it for a week. That was it.
Oh, dude, a game that I caught on sale last year, during lockdown and all that. And I got it for $15. Mm-hmm. One of the best $15 I ever spent, because I probably played that game for almost 3 months. Ghost Recon Wildlands. Tom Clancy. Ghost Recon Wildlands. It's a squad-based shooter, but it's third person, and that map is enormous.
See, that's what turned me off for the Battlefield games.
No, but here's the thing. So it's enormous. You can drive or whatever, but once you get certain things leveled up, you can just radio in for a helicopter to be dropped to you and just fly everywhere. Now, there are some places where they've got SAM sites, surface air missiles, so you got to dodge and be kind of stealthy about. But, dude, that game is so much fucking fun. I did go online to play with people, but it was just, you get thrown into random teams if you don't have anybody playing. Yep. And that kind of sucked, because these people are all running off doing their own thing, and I'm like, hey, I need teammates here, dickhead. I can't go get into this Unidad base without you. So, yeah, but playing it solo it's fun. It's fun. And some of those missions, a lot of it is just, okay, that was kind of difficult, and it rises in difficulty depending on the star level of the lieutenant you're going after or whatever. But there are some of them that are so challenging, and I had to do so many times because I would die or get caught or spotted or what. But it wasn't enraging to the fact where you're just fucking pissed. You're just like, okay, fuck you. I'm going to do this. Okay, I know what I did wrong there.
Yeah.
And it was a really fun fucking game.
See, the last game that did that to me that was engaging and fun because, it had an AI system that would learn, and that was XCOM.
The Enemy Within.
Yep.
Holy shit. Also,
those were good.
Also, didn't you have to keep your morale of your guys up or they commit suicide?
That may have been in a different one, but the one that I played...
what am I thinking of?
The one that I played, it was the AI would learn.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, they learned how you played and would adjust.
And they would try to actively fuck you over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the game I'm thinking of? You got a squad, and you had to keep their morale up, or your guys would flip the fuck out and commit suicide.
No, it was
like, what the fuck?
Now, XCOM would do that. It had a system based into it to where whenever you were playing, if like your characters started to wig out, they would go nuts and just start randomly running around and just opening fire on everything that they saw.
But I'm talking intentional, like would put the gun under their chin and blow their brains out.
They didn't get that far
and I'm
on
trying
there.
to remember what that game was.
But yeah, they definitely would.
Because the first time it happened, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And you don't get another teammate.
No,
like, he's just gone.
no.
And you're like...
It probably was one of the XCOM games. But I know for this one, I remember having a mission one time where like these big, like marauder-looking motherfuckers busted through a wall. And one of my... He wasn't like a long-range sniper, but he was like a mid-range dude. He fucking saw this thing come through and kill somebody, and he wigged out and started shooting everything. He killed like 2 other teammates of my own group just because he was freaking the fuck out. I'm like, oh, this is bad. Like, all of my good people are dying because my people are killing them. Like, fuck me.
Oh.
But yeah.
Yeah, what happened? What happened to the days when video game companies had to release a complete game, and
it is because people now want shit now. And they also know that with this new system, they don't have to put out a full game. They can give you shit and then spoon feed you and milk you dry for so much more shit. It's just the way things are now.
It's so bad.
It is. But it's the way.
That's why, honestly, if you look on like Xbox Live Marketplace or whatever, most of the highest rated games are indie games.
Yeah.
Because the indie developers, like these little AA and single A titles, dude, they like... You can get these games for like $5-10, and some of those games that I've got
really
are some of the best games you can play. Dude, one that's amazing, Prison Architect.
I haven't heard of it.
It is such a basic looking game, and it's you see these little, they look like Weebles. You see the little Weeble people move through the prison, but you have to build and design your prison. You have to meet certain criteria to get other things unlocked. But it's just fun as fuck. And they do have DLC, but it's not necessary.
Right. It's not a pay-to-win type situation.
And that was one of the free games a couple years ago.
Yeah, see, those aren't bad.
On Games with Gold. Yeah, it was one of the free games. Holy shit, man.
That's actually what my son's been doing, is he's learning, and he's building his own game right now. Like, for real. And he's doing it all himself. Like, it's fucking crazy watching how much, progress he's made on things. And he blows my fucking messenger up all the time. Like, I'll look up and there's like 47 messages, and it's like all him showing me fucking coding and screenshots and all the stuff that he's doing, and he's just like super geeked out about it. I'm just like,
yeah, but see, you know what,
motherfucker,
that shit, like, maybe he won't become a millionaire, but if he makes a decent game
that's
gets it hosted on the Xbox Marketplace, that could make him a couple $100,000 and set him up to get a contract to work with one of these indie developers. And
that's what he's wanting to do. That's what he's trying to work for.
Fuck yeah, man.
It's cool. Because I was trying to get him to go out there and work with me. And he, we had a little conversation. And he was just like, I don't want to be stuck in that fucking Matrix box.
It's a trap job.
And I told him, I said, I understand this. I was just like, and if you have the means to do what you're trying to do now, by all means, run for it.
That's like right now. I have people who have actually gotten mad at me because, I moved back home last year. Here in a week, I'll be 42, and it was a year ago that day that I moved back home.
Yeah, I remember when you left.
I have people who get mad at me because I refuse, in the position that I'm in, I refuse to go get a regular job again. I'm not doing it. My happiness outweighs the need for more money than it takes for me to survive at this point. And I mean survive. Like getting by.
Dude, I'm in the same situation.
Fuck that. Like I do feel bad that people do have to work or what, but I'm in a position right now where I don't have to.
Right.
I want to. Like right now, I'm without getting into what I do, but I'm grounded from what I do for a job until I can.
Fucking tree.
Shit happens, man. But I think within the next month, I should be back to doing work and being able to do my contracts. But I don't. Like, I've had people say, well, what if you just went and got a job in the meantime? No.
You can't. You can't.
I don't want to.
Well, that's the other thing.
No, I could.
Well,
I'm not.
But no, you couldn't. I'm sorry. But
my mentality won't let me.
That's what I was getting at, is the fact that once you finally break free from that system and your whole thought process changes,
I would rather die.
You can't.
I would absolutely rather die.
Like, for me, if you would have asked me, perfect example, this time last year, if you would have talked to me about this shit, and I think I may have even said something to you about this.
Well, remember, I was trying to get on with you.
Well, yeah, but I think I may have even told you that my plan for 2020 was I was going to go back to school, let my job pay for my shit, go get a degree in microbiology, and I was want to try to work in the labs. Like, that was it. I had that podcast with you that I did. Meadow Titan, had that fucking meeting. That, Chris
Titan will fuck your life up.
My whole fucking life changed that night. Like, literally, the answers to everything I was looking for was fucking handed to me in the form of another motherfucker that just happened to be here at the right place at the right time.
Son, I'm just going to let you know that was designed.
Oh, I know. I have no doubts. Trust me, I see more into this than you may think. But it was the same situation. That happened. It changed my thought process. And I'm like, wait, so there is access to way more than this. And I finally figured out how to find it. Awesome. Cool. Started doing this. Had my little adventure across the fucking country and had all that stuff happen. And I came back and I'm just like, everything that I learned on those adventures last year and the self-discovery that I went through, when I leave this place and I go to do what I'm meaning to do, I will never go back again because I can't. Because I would walk into the place and I would probably throw up on the floor just because it feels dirty to go back into that kind of mentality. I don't want it.
People think I'm joking when I say it, but yes, I'm at a very happy point in my life. I did just recently have within 10 months, and I finally had a little spur of depression again the other day.
Yeah.
But it was a 24-hour spiral, and it's gone.
You're purging something.
Yeah. It was something, honestly, it was something that I needed to encounter again. And then instead of it keeping me down for days or weeks or months, it was a day. And then it was resolved. And
you moved past
now it. I feel like I've grown from that.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like at first I was distraught as fuck because I realized what was happening. And I was like, oh fuck, oh no, here it is, holy shit, 10 months and here it is. And then it was, it was rectified, it was leveled out, and it turned, like, I allowed my brain to analyze it in the sense of, no, see, you're overreacting.
Yeah.
And now you know that you can handle these things and not have to let it control you. But people
not
think
everybody
I'm joking.
can do that.
Right. People think I'm joking though when I say, again, I'm happy as fuck now. But I would rather eat a fucking bullet than to go work another mindless goddamn job for somewhere anyone can tell me what to do. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You don't have that dominion over me. And I'll never give anyone that power again. Like I said, I would rather die.
That's the thing that I've been trying to teach people for the longest time, is that the shit that you and I are talking about, the mentality.
By the way, you don't mind this, do you?
Fuck no, I don't.
Okay.
But like, you know, the mentality of how we see things now compared to even how it was last year, like our thought process has changed dramatically. Yep. Like, we can't look at things the same way. Like, you know, I joke around and say it like Muggles do. You know, and that's honestly the way that it is. Like, we see things different now, and we also know that there is a whole different world out there that most people don't see because they're not open to it yet.
Absolutely.
But once your eyes open and you realize,
let's also clarify.
That's real?
Also clarify, a lot of people can't.
There are some that can't, but
there are a lot that can't.
Well, okay, if you
I've told people,
if you look at this on a mass scale, yeah, there is a lot of people that their minds are not going to be able to handle that shit. But for the ones that are receptive, as soon as they actually encounter the things that we speak of, and they go through those experiences to where it fundamentally changes the way your brain and heart and everything works, you can't look at the things the same way again. The whole world looks entirely different to you and I than it does to some other people. Like, if we walked outside, the first person we saw, they would never see things the way you and I do. They can't.
So, oh God, I got a sneeze coming.
Oh, shit.
Hold on, wait. Nope, okay, gone. So, a woman that I love dearly, I have tried to explain to her so many times that, because she confronts me about the way that I view certain things, and like how I am still very confrontational when it comes to certain things. And I'm like, that's because I have standards and expectations. And if people don't want to abide by them, they will be confronted. And after that confrontation, if they don't want to abide by them, they will be written off.
Yeah.
You're done. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And I've explained to her, I'm like, most people, and I've even told her that, you know, a lot of things she only sees through this.
Right.
This view. And I'm like, I look at the whole picture. I can see these things on the outer edges. My peripheral vision for life
has been changed.
And it is very much intact. And most people are staring down a tunnel, and they can't see side to side. They can only see what's in front of them and a little bit of this outer edge of their tunnel. I can see what's going on over here that's making you focus on this.
Oh, yeah.
And trying to explain that. Hold on. I have this term saved. I'm going to give you the term because this is, you know, I haven't done DMT yet.
Right.
And I need to.
Oh, I want to do it again because I need a different experience than the one that I had.
But there's the term for what this is. I have saved. Where is it? Okay. It is called exulansis. Okay? Exulansis is the tendency to give up trying to talk about an experience because people are unable to relate to it. That is what most people who do DMT experience when they try to talk to people about their experience who haven't done DMT. I understand enough.
Right.
I understand enough.
But you've done the research.
Right.
Right.
But you try to explain to someone who has no idea what DMT is, and you're trying to tell them what you've experienced, eventually you're just going to give up from it. You're just going to be like, because you'll never understand.
Yeah, they'll never get it. The way that I've been explaining things lately, and it seems to be like the most practical, is I've been referring to everything in terms of like reading a Harry Potter book. Perfect example. You're going to have people that can read that book, they absorb it, they take it in like, cool, fucking, you know, wizards doing this and this and this, and there's like this magical world and all this other stuff. They get it, like they know what it is you're saying, but until they realize that there's a whole nother side to this existence that most people will never know until they see it, feel it, embrace it, and actually have that experience, they're not going to get it.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what it is. They're looking at it through the eyes of a muggle. But whenever they do have that experience and they go back and reread the book again, they get so much more out of it because they're like, oh my God, all of this shit is real. Like, this is fucking crazy. I'm not saying you're going to be riding around on brooms or anything, but like, my little path of trying to, expand my consciousness and learn about, what's out there, what most people consider like the new age shit or whatnot, going through those experiences have changed me. I can't look at the world the same way again. I can't.
Exactly.
After that experience that night, on that trip, like, even though it was like full-blown insanity, everything seemed kind of normal, which was weird, like, but then going back and re-looking at the experience again and seeing what I didn't see the first time, it was like really eye-opening, because I was knee-deep in the middle of the shit and I didn't notice this. How the fuck did I not see it? It was right there in my face.
And that's just it, is most people are so preoccupied with what's going on in their menial everyday lives and focusing on things that are truly insignificant.
Oh, yeah.
They are absolutely insignificant. And once you get past that, like once you just have that one triggering event, it's like a domino effect, and all these other things start coming into your vision, and you're like, oh, fuck, now I'm one of those people. Oh, God damn it. Because you got so many people. Think about this. The amount of people that if you talk about a conspiracy theory, immediately can just discount it because the words conspiracy theory are there.
Yeah.
And then you try to explain to them, do you understand that the term conspiracy theory was created by the CIA?
Just as a way to
dismiss.
Discredit. Yeah.
Dismiss, discredit, shut up. And so many people fall victim to it.
Yeah, they do.
And never give it a thought.
You could show them the proof.
Yep.
Like, you could walk them to the door, open
but
it
because
up,
it wasn't given to them on the 6 o'clock news, it has no validity.
Yeah. Turn off your fucking TV.
Oh, my God. You can keep the TV on. Choose what you watch. Be more selective.
Oh, I just had that conversation with my wife yesterday, I think it was. That was last night. Before I left. I told her, it was like, you need to follow this path. Like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but for what you were trying to accomplish, here's your fucking roadmap. I know, because I've walked that path. This is what allowed me to go from here where you saw me to here where I am now. And you see how much better off I am, how more clear I think about everything. Like, my whole world has changed. This is the path that I took. Follow this, and you will see things change in your life that you're not ever going to know any other way. This is the only way to do it. And I told her, it was like, you spend half your time fucking watching like stupid cooking competitions and dumb shit on fucking Netflix and all this other stuff. I'm like, take that time where you're rotting your brain, letting things control what goes into your melon, and change what you put in there, and you'll see your whole life fucking alter right in front of your eyes. Everything goes away. The veil comes down, and you start seeing the puppet masters with their strings and how they're manipulating everything. And all you do is you cut the strings off of them and you tell them, this is not the monkey suit that you're controlling. This is a being on the inside that is now in control. You have no dominion over any part of me. Fuck off. I'm living my life my way.
Most of the time when I'm sitting there watching TV, like if I'm watching something, like a lot of time, I love putting on Big Bang Theory and just letting it run. Because now The Office has gone off Netflix and it's on Peacock, and I'm not getting Peacock just yet, but I'll probably have to, because I do miss the fuck out of The Office, and I don't want to spend $100-something on the DVD box set and then have to switch DVDs, and fuck that.
Yeah.
I want streaming, god damn it.
The damn
fucking NBC fucked me, and a lot of other people. Fuck you, NBC. But you're probably still going to end up getting my money.
Because you got hit with that nice big cock.
Fucking assholes.
Yeah.
But anyway, even when, like, I love Big Bang Theory. I put it on. It's on HBO Max, and I just let it run from episode to episode. But a lot of times, I'm on Reddit. Like, I don't do social media.
Right.
I love Reddit. And I'm only subscribed to subreddits that apply to me and interest me. I don't have to see shit that's not valid to me. And a lot of times I'm getting lost reading, scientific articles or things about outer space and astrophysics.
Shit that interests you.
Right. And things that apply to our lives. Like I'm even on the Chaos Magic subreddit.
Yep.
And some of what gets posted there, I'm just like, eh. And then other times people do some really in-depth articles on there. And I'm like,
make you think.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't even considered that approach.
Yeah.
And I love it. It being free. Oh, God, there you go. You know what? You don't even have to really change your viewing habits of television. Get the fuck away from Facebook and Twitter.
I keep Twitter for one reason. One reason only.
Yeah, but you don't interact much. You just you follow a few people that you like.
I troll a couple people from time to time,
okay.
too. Like, our governor, I like to send him all sorts of shit and just be like, you remember back when you said this? Yeah, how about you do this because it does exactly what you're trying to do? Oh, I forgot you're scared of that shit. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. But I mean, besides that, I follow specific people because they have like the extreme opposite end views of kind of the way that I see shit, and I use that as a barometer to know where's the world at right now? What are they pissed off about? Because I'll read it and I'll see them throw their fits, and then I'm like, okay, they're crying about this. That means something's weird. Let's go find out what's actually happening. And I'm like, cool, now I know what's up. The opposite of what you're bitching about, that's what's really going on. Cool, now I know. So if somebody comes up and says something, I'll have an idea what's going on. I don't follow it. I don't let it consume my life. I don't care. But I like to be informed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have like polar opposites on both sides. Well, I used to. You can't have conservative views because, they're now in like, you have to go talk to fucking Oscar the Grouch. Oh, wait, he may be getting fucking booted next. Who knows? But that's pretty much what it is. I use it as a way to see what somebody's crying about now for. Just as a barometer. I don't care.
Yeah. I do have one thing on YouTube, a channel that I follow called The Quartering. And this dude, Jeremy, he reports on like video game news, Hollywood news. He's the one that like I've been following about the whole Gina Carano situation with Disney and the backlash that Disney is facing now. And it's just exponentially getting worse every fucking day.
Good.
For Disney.
Good.
And, and Kathleen Kennedy. Oh, that insufferable.
Dude, it was bad. It's bad
bitch.
enough whenever their Star Wars savior, Jon Favreau, said,
walked away.
Fuck you, I'm done.
Yeah, walk the fuck away. Dude, that whole thing is in shambles now.
Ain't my shit. Fuck it.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Exactly.
But, it's one of those just... Isn't it sad, though, that an amazing show had to be ruined because of people's personal politics? And the fact that
Crybaby bitches. It wasn't even politics. It was... They got their fifis hurt.
Yeah, they didn't like her. They didn't like what she said.
I'm sorry. Don't we have
also,
freedom of speech?
I love that they called her anti-Semitic, and yet, like the next day or 2 days later after she was fired, fucking Ben Shapiro hires her for a movie.
Yeah.
For the Daily Wire or whatever it is that he runs. Ah! Ben Shapiro, which, it cracks me up because people call Ben Shapiro anti-Semitic all the time. And he's like, do you see the yarmulke on my head? Ben Shapiro would never say you dumb motherfuckers, but I'll speak for him and be like, do you see the yarmulke, you dumb motherfuckers? Yeah. Like, he's Jewish. He's as Jewish as you can fucking be. He's like the Jewy Jew of King Jews. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I love Ben Shapiro. And here's the funny thing. I've had to explain this to people. They're like, because you mention Ben Shapiro and they're like, fuck Ben Shapiro, blah, blah, blah. He's anti-abortion. I'm like, look, dude, I don't agree with all of the dude's personal sentiments, But listen to him talk, and when he spouts facts and statistics, and he doesn't have to look that shit up. He can quote it to you, give you the citation where you can look it up.
They don't want to hear it.
Oh, yeah,
People don't want to hear it.
Information bad.
Yeah.
Like, what you're saying doesn't match my feelings. He's the one that coined facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, fuck your feelings.
Oh, my God. Like, I love that dude. Love that dude. I don't agree with, like, 30 to 40% of his personal fucking diatribe and his sentiments.
You don't have to.
Exactly. And that's why I try to tell people, like, I know that I am a higher evolution than the majority of people, because I would never... Let's just say that I were a staunch conservative and you were a diehard liberal. I would never let that interfere with my friendship with you.
You shouldn't.
That would never factor into how I feel about how you treat me as a person.
Yeah.
How many people can say that?
Not many.
Not fucking many.
Not many at all. No.
Meanwhile, I get people that accuse me of, like, well, you're obviously conservative and you're pro-Trump. I'm like, no, I liked Trump because I treated it as a troll on this nation, which needed to happen. And also, how true is it now that he's gone? Look at what's happening with the Twitter and
the
YouTube.
World's falling to shit.
Because he made a tweet. He even said, he's like, he goes, they're not after me, they're after you. I'm just in their way.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit rings fucking true. Loud and clear now.
But the funny thing is, if you ask the people...
I didn't care about Donald Trump being the president. You and I both know the president is meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
Meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
However, he was fucking the system.
Oh, he was.
He was absolutely shitting on everything, and it was great. Also, isn't it funny that, while Trump was in office, gas prices were at like an all-time 20-year low?
Yeah, they almost got under $1.
Oh, yeah. At one point, yeah. And now... it's like $2.70 for a fucking gallon of gas here.
Yeah.
And other places are like over $3 again, $3.50. And I'm like, God.
That's just like, you look at, Cindy sent me a video today that she had found this girl throwing a fit, which rightfully so. She was complaining about how she went to go pick up medication for her kid, was insulin, that this kid has to have to live. Mm-hmm. The insulin, after a fucking rebate discount from the manufacturer, was $360 for 1 month.
Your nephew, who is in both of our lives,
I know,
has to deal with that all the fucking time, man.
Oh, I know.
And it's so ridiculous.
But it was the fact that while Trump was in office, he signed that shit to change it to where she was like, it was $60.
And Biden undid it.
On day one.
Yep. Biden undid it.
Yeah, she said that if it wouldn't have been for that rebate she got, it would have been over $500 a month.
Yeah.
For shit that he has to have to live.
Yeah. How are people supposed to be able to afford to live?
It's because they don't realize that these motherfuckers don't care about anybody except for themselves. And I'm sorry, like I've had these conversations with people before.
History is not going to be kind to all of the orange man bad people.
Right. It's biting them in the ass.
Here, in 10 years, honestly, and this may piss some people off.
We're not going to make it 10 years.
Honestly, I hope that in fucking 2024, I hope goddamn Donald Trump runs again.
He will.
And I hope he runs as a fucking independent.
No. He's already said that he had stated some shit like that because people were saying, oh, he's going to start a third party.
He's the one that could do it.
And he goes, I'm not starting a third party. Why the fuck would I do that? Why would I open up a third party option to split the votes because you have people that don't want to vote Republican or they don't want to vote independent because they're diehard Republican?
True. Yeah.
So in that sense, yeah, it's pretty fucking ingenious. But the fact that some people don't want to see it. They don't want to see the good shit that he did.
No.
And he has done good things.
He did a lot of good things.
But orange man bad.
Yep. Yeah. Just because, he said to a guy in private, grab him by the pussy, like he can grab women by their pussy. And,
dude, there's a fucking TikTok challenge thing going around where guys are grabbing people grabbing girls by the gooch and fucking picking them up. Literally hoisting them up by the cooters. And these conservatives on there going, I thought this was a bad thing. You weren't supposed to grab him by the pussy. Now you're all doing this? What the fuck?
The one thing that I love is the social justice warrior cancel culture, how they're starting to feed on each other now.
I hope they eat themselves.
Oh, they are. They are. They're fucking destroying themselves. Look what's happened. Mm-hmm. Look what's happened with the whole Gina Carano and Disney thing. Mm-hmm. And now they're all just collapsing in on themselves. And all of us that for years, hey, look, that dude that I watched, Jeremy from The Quartering, his saying is "Get woke, go broke." Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. You're a little woke ass. You're not woke. No. You're a fucking idiot. You're an easily led automaton who just fucking, you're a goddamn lemming. And you're a lemming for shills. And you're just following these idiots off the edge of the cliff. Like, oh, good God. People are stupid.
They are.
And that's why, going back to the disclosure thing, that's why we're never going to get honest disclosure from our government, because the average person is too goddamn stupid. First of all, look, I make jokes about it all the time. When the aliens land, I'm trying to clap cheeks. Like, I'm trying to fuck.
And see, like, that
what if it's a really good looking alien? I'd be like, hey, you like fat kids? Come on, baby, let's do this.
Yeah. I remember I laughed my ass off when I told everybody that I was taking that trip. Like, they didn't know the reason why I did it. You know, there was a couple people that they kind of knew a little bit, but they didn't know the full extent of everything that happened. But I kept laughing. I was like, I'm going out to the desert. I said, I've got my shit all situated. I'm going to go out in the desert. I'm getting answers. And he was like, what are you going to happen if you get fucking picked up by aliens? I'm like, then I'm getting on that goddamn UFO.
I'm getting more answers.
And they was like, are you really going to get in a UFO that lands? I'm like, fuck, yes, I am. I was like, when are you going to get a chance for something like that to happen to begin? It was, what if they try to probe you in the ass? I said, I'm bringing KY just in case. Right. I don't care. If I got to take an alien.
Can you spit on it first and kiss me on the neck?
Like, come on. I'm sorry, but if an alien finger in the butt is the price tag for a trip around the fucking universe in a spaceship, get it. Right. Whatever. It's just an ass. I don't care. It's a monkey suit. I mean, whatever. Just tickle the prostate while you're in there. Do something. Fuck. But yeah, it's one of those. You ain't getting that chance again. Fuck it. Let's have at it. My wife, she was just like, she goes, I know you would do something like that too. I said, yeah, damn Skippy, I would.
Absolutely.
She was like, you better send a fucking text message picture of the damn UFO. I'm like, if they let me.
I will say, I'm just hoping that the aliens that got Travis Walton don't pick me up.
Yeah.
I don't want those.
No.
Not them.
No.
I don't know where they come from, but.
I don't want needles in the eyeballs.
Yeah, no. I don't want.
You can keep that.
I don't want to have nightmarish flashbacks of what happened. I just want to hang out with y'all and have some.
I want answers. Yeah, and I know you all have some
clarity.
Answers.
Give me what you know I can handle, because I do have a fucking ape brain.
But not even that. Like, open that bitch up. Let's talk. Like,
yeah, but okay. Here's the thing. I fully believe. They say that humans operate at about 10 to 20% of their brain's functional capacity. I don't even think it's that much. Probably not. But if you were to open up the human, like if someone were to have their mind completely opened up, I think that it would drive them to madness within 72 hours.
It would, but for probably not the reason why most people would think.
No, it would be too much to handle.
I think
the only way you could do it is to an infant, and then they would have to be in an isolated, controlled environment for their development.
I could see that.
Because it would destroy. It would honestly destroy
everybody. Well,
it would when you even us as open and receptive as we are, it would destroy us psychologically.
No, because I know I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
We're ready for stages.
No. See, here's the thing. Since our last little podcast meeting that we did, there's a lot of shit that you don't know about. A lot of shit. We don't have time for that right now to get into that conversation. We will, but I'm telling you, like, my eyes are way more open than they ever have been, to the point to where if they wanted to show me these things, I understand them. Like, let me have it, because I understand this shit isn't real. This is a prison.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
I fully understand.
But the full realization being dumped on you all at once, I think would be too much for anyone to handle.
And now if they just
it would have to
now if they just walked up and said, 100%, yeah, that would break your
That's
brain.
what I'm saying. It
But
would
if
psychologically crush you.
But if it was a situation to where they were like, here we go, we're just going to start turning this up.
That's what I'm saying. It would have to be levels. Like, hey,
I don't even care if they just fucking start and just keep cranking.
We've had you at level 3 here for a couple weeks. Now we're going to dial it up a notch. Shit.
I would tell them the same thing I tell everybody else. When it comes to me learning things, when I tell you to slow down, slow down. Until then, keep fucking going. Just because I will absorb it.
Again, we as human beings are flawed into the fact that we jump into things without full understanding, and then it's huge regrets. Like, oh fuck, I really shouldn't have done. I should have thought this through better. Fuck, I wasn't aware of what I was getting into.
And that was kind of to the point, like with the experiences that I had, especially with like after I got back home from that trip and the shit that I started to really look into. I was given answers to things that I didn't even realize that I had questions for it. Like, it was fucking mind-bending to the point to where, like, I'm hand on Deadpool, fucking, like, I really thought I was going insane. Like, I told Cindy on numerous occasions, I'm like, I really think I'm fucking going nuts. And she was like, why? I'm like, this shit is, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this shit because of what I'm being shown and what I'm being told is so fucking crazy and out there, but yet it's sitting right in front of your face the whole time and you don't see it. But as soon as you do see it, you can't stop fucking staring, and you're like, now I'm mad because I realize what we've been fucked out of. And I'm like, our entire existence should be so much different than it actually is.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it goes way for, like, this is legit a whole nother, like, conversation. This would be a different podcast for us to do from, like, start to finish on just this shit alone. Like, it's
tying into that is, I've said numerous times that while they consider it a disability, like a neurological disability, I have begun the past few years looking at autism.
It's an evolution.
Yeah, I think that autism is the next phase of human evolution, where people, and we're in the, what you're saying, and people are like, well, how can you say that? Because there's so many, like, nonverbal, low-functioning. Yes, there are, because every evolutionary stage we've ever gone through has growing pains.
Yeah.
And it takes hundreds or thousands of years to breed through these phases. But the thing is, when you have people who no longer have petty emotions and they're open and they're honest, like if you've ever had a conversation with a high functioning autistic person,
I have.
They are like, they seem like an asshole because they're blunt and they're direct and they don't have social norms. They don't skirt around feelings. They don't analyze feelings the same way we do.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
Because it's
below them.
Like, their feelings can get hurt, but they process it differently. Yeah. It's that's not on that person, that's on me, so I'll handle that. But they don't really show those kinds of emotions because they're petty and insignificant and don't mean anything. Like, you look at Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory, that character is a prime example
of a super high functioning autistic kid.
Yes. Like, he
has access to parts of his brain that most people do not.
Yes.
And they are just wired that way. They were not taught, because you can't teach an autistic kid to live in the matrix the way they're trying to make you do it.
They're not plugged in.
You can't program them that way.
They're not plugged in.
You're trying to fucking stick like a 3-prong thing in a 2-prong hole. Like, it's not going to go, no matter what you do.
Yep.
Like, a friend of mine, his kid was like super high functioning autistic. He was not so much for a little while, but then all of a sudden it was like a fucking switch came on, and he was just like, bap, okay, I can communicate with people. But the way his brain worked, like, fucked me up, because I consider myself to be relatively intelligent person. Like,
I'm very enlightened.
Like, I'm not going to be like, I'm a goddamn genius, but if we want to talk, like, case in point, I almost passed the Mensa test, but whatever, I don't care.
Right.
This kid made me feel like I was a paste-eating mongoloid sitting in a corner, like, smearing shit on my face.
I'm a booger picking ape.
Yeah.
And sometimes I eat them.
Like, he came up and just, like, we were sitting there talking one day, and, like, his dad was having a field day with it. He was like, all right, say this like this. Like, he knew 5 fucking languages fluently, like it was nothing. just hit you with this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're like 8.
Yeah, their processing power is on par with computers.
He was like a master of like Rubik's Cube shit. You know, how fast he would solve this. And like my buddy was just like, what he was like, all right, you know, like a 15-sided fucking thing. Like, you know, what's the algorithm? Oh, it's just blah, 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 blah. He just spit this thing off.
But meanwhile,
and he would just look at you like, how did you not know this?
But meanwhile, they're all subject to like sensory overload.
Yeah.
Like they can't handle like lots of bright lights or flashes or loud sounds.
The funny thing is this kid actually got to the point where he joined in the marching band, and he was in marching band with my oldest daughter.
Did he wear like?
No.
He didn't wear ear covers.
He got past all that shit to where he didn't need to do that. Like he never had like the overload with that. Like he would have it, but like you wouldn't see him freak out very often. But I told my daughter, I was just like, you know, I understand you have to know your marks, memorize the fucking music, and this and this and this. I was like, you've already said that you think it's kind of tricky to know all of the shit and have it down. This little motherfucker knows everybody's stuff.
Yep.
And he has it all memorized.
Yeah.
It's like, that's how his brain functions. And, you know, she just kind of looked at me all funny. I'm like, you think you're smart? It's like, you are like a paste eater compared to this kid.
Yeah, there's smart, and there's intelligence, and then there's hyper intelligence.
Yeah,
and even I've been around non-verbal, non-communicative autistic people who are hyper intelligent. They can't even speak. They can't speak, and yet they can do things that would make both you and me just sit there with our jaws open, like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
how can you do that, dude? I've seen a kid at the age of 11 who was solving quantum mechanics theorems, like plugging in things from other people's work that they never completed. There's a fascinating... God, I need to see if I can find that video again. There's like this 12-year-old kid who explains in great detail, I believe it was a YouTube video, about the Alcubierre drive.
I think you told me about this before.
Alcubierre is he was I believe Mexican scientist. He's the one that came up with the theory of the Alcubierre drive, which in Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, when Obi-Wan's starfighter goes to planet Kamino,
the
cloner planet, that ring. Yeah. And what it does is it bends space and time around the object. You're not actually traveling at the speed of light or faster than light. You're bending space and time around you.
That was, well, Einstein talked about the same shit. You can't go from one thing to another, so you bend
that, and Tesla did too,
to touch. Yeah. So you just walk across the portal.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway, this kid explains, this like 12 or 13-year-old kid explains in great detail how this is possible and how it would work and like what we need to do to be able to make it work. And I'm like, why isn't this kid working for NASA or at least at MIT right now at 13 years old? Like, what?
Because they're not trying to solve those problems.
I think they've already solved those problems.
Probably. And I bet you this kid's tapping into like what is considered like the 5D mass consciousness.
That's like that other 12-year-old kid who figured out that pyramid was hiding in the South American jungle.
Yeah. God
damn it. Are you kidding me? All of the brilliant minds that have ever existed in archaeology and paleontology and all this stuff and anthropology, and a 12-year-old kid figure out that there's a pyramid in South America here at this exact... Like, he gave them the coordinates, and they flew over with a plane that had LiDAR, and they found the fucking pyramid that the jungle had reclaimed. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude,
like, what?
All they would have to do, if you really wanted to find all of that shit... You do like I'm sure you can fucking get a computer system that'll, map out the energetic ley lines of the planet, and everywhere points cross.
But people still
go there.
There are academics that deny that the pyramids were any kind of energy grid, and I'm like, they all intersect with each other. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, they all like
a dumbass, a person with an IQ of 70. Can fucking look at this and go, these go together. These connect. Yeah. Look at that. Look, that's crazy. Also, The fact that these things align perfectly with constellations.
Most of them did, yeah.
God damn it. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
This is not accidental.
Well, we went over all that shit the last time we had our little conversation here, with our, the last podcast. But yeah, that's really what it is. Like, if you want to find these things, you look for the ley lines, you look for intersecting lines, and you look and see what is there. And I guarantee you're going to find weird structures, and I guarantee you that they're not what you think they are. It's power grids, because it was worldwide energy free manipulation of the electromagnetic shit. All the stuff that Tesla was trying to give us, these fuckers had before. Mm-hmm. But you can't monetize that stuff, so no.
Also, all these brilliant minds that deny that shit have to discuss the Van Allen radiation belt, but can't explain why it exists here on Earth, and they acknowledge it's not natural. Like, this would not be naturally occurring. This had to be put here.
It's really fun. It's called Watch a Star Wars Movie and watch what happens to Alderaan.
But the Van Allen radiation belt is what blocks us from harmful sun rays. Mm-hmm. It is not natural. No other planet in our solar system has this. And they know for a fact, well, it had to be put here. Who put it here? How? How did they do this? How did they create these expanding rings of radiation blocker around our planet that protect us? And it's like, okay.
They're trying to think too much into it.
Yeah, because and here's the problem. The easiest acknowledgement is not the one that they want to acknowledge. No. Saying that an ancient civilization, potentially an extraterrestrial civilization, is using this planet as a petri dish or a fucking lab. This is a laboratory zoo. Mm-hmm. That's what this is.
Oh, absolutely.
We are a genetics experiment, and people are like, well, then why don't the aliens interact with us? And I'm like, if you created something that was as warmongering as us, would you want to come down here and risk that?
No.
You got people like me that are ready to fuck. And first of all, I'm not even going to try to kill them. I want to fuck them. I want to see if we're compatible.
Oh my God. Do my parts and your parts match?
I'm going to clap them alien cheeks, boy. You don't even know. And
oh my God. Yeah. That was my favorite shit of that whole Area 51 thing. I'm going to clap them cheeks.
Fuck yeah. I was on board with that. Like, I didn't even care about getting into the base to find out secrets or anything. I'm like, oh, are they actually aliens there? Because I'm going to clap them cheeks.
Yeah, until you find one that comes out looking like old green boy over there and he decides to clap yours.
I mean, if that's the way the cookie crumbles. But
if I got to take one in the ass to go on a spaceship, I mean,
exactly.
Come
on, how committed are you to this?
Just, God, I catch so much shit for that joke, but I can't help it. It's like, I'm sorry.
Look, I've had fingers in my ass for a blowjob. Y'all, I've had a finger in my ass during a blowjob.
That doesn't make
and that was just a really good orgasm.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a spaceship.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that the price of admission to ride on a spaceship is getting my butthole diddled? Well, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, but here's your KY. Have at it. It's like I brought it myself just in case for this.
I got this bottle of Joe Lube. I'm good to go.
Oh my God. Unless they whip out a bottle of space grease and like, nope, this works better.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, they got something way better than lubricants that we've got.
Oh man. But no, it's God, people get so uptight over shit like that too.
Of course.
My Lord.
Try talking to an average guy about a finger in the ass during a blowjob.
Hell no.
Oh my God. They think like, they automatically assume that it would make them gay. Yeah, and I'm like,
make you gay.
Really? Because you jerk off.
Okay.
Like, you jerk off your own dick, right? Does that make you gay?
Yeah. Who was it? Fuck. Somebody said this once before, and it made me laugh because when you stop and think about it like that, it's almost accurate. It's like
Ron White.
Having sex with a dude one time doesn't make you gay. That's for science. You go back for seconds. There you go.
I thought you were going to talk about how everybody's a little bit gay.
No.
Ron White. Oh my God,
he's such
a great bit. When he goes, my friend goes, I ain't gay. He goes, yeah, you are, and I'll prove it to you. You like watching porn? Yeah, I love porn. You know that. Well, when you watch porn, do you only watch scenes with two women? No, I like to see a man and a woman together. Well, when you watch porn with a man and a woman together, do you like for that man to have a tiny, flaccid penis? No, I like big, hard, throbbing cock. I did not know that about myself. Like, fuck yeah, nobody's watching porn to see some dude with a little dick just try to give it his all. No, you want to watch a woman get wrecked.
Yeah, it's God. That's like the dude that I worked with before. I think it was the same cat. He used to fuck with my brother all the time about that. And he was just like, would you ever let another guy suck your dick? He was like, fuck no, that's gay. He was like, well, what happened if you woke up in the middle of the night and like somebody was sucking your dick and you turned on the light and realized it was a dude? Would you let him finish? And he was like, fuck no. He was like, fuck it, I would. I don't care. He's like, as long as his fucking goatee don't scratch my balls. And everybody was like, you're fucking insane. And he started laughing. He was like, what? He goes, I was gay once till it was my turn.
Yeah. Exactly.
I was like, oh my God. It's like, yeah.
What, you suck my dick and I'm gay? I just wanted to go shopping.
God, that dude, he used to crack me the fuck up with how weird. He would come up with the most just out there weird shit. But it was just funny, just watching people's reactions to it. You know, just, why do you got to be so uptight about everything? Have fun. Fuck, live a little. Just, God.
Well, and then, you know, you think about it. All these people who are outwardly, so that's gay, but outwardly. Then these people get busted, you know, like behind the closed door. Like Ted Haggard. Remember that dude, the Friends with Jesus guy?
Yep.
Jesus Christ. He was doing meth with a fucking male prostitute.
Yep. But the funniest thing is you remember that they took that dude out. They said, like, all those priests or whatever grabbed that dude and took him to a retreat to rehabilitate him. No, they realized that he was a little freaky and they went and ran his ass in the dirt. It's like the, you know, the parents that make the kids smoke a whole pack of cigarettes at one time. It's like, no, you taking all the dick right now. We're going to fuck you into straightness. Oh, Jesus. Ate up. But yeah, this world is doomed.
Maybe.
Well,
see, that's just it. You've got the human overlords that kind of want you to feel that way. However, I think that I feel that they realize their time is running short.
Starting to.
That something is going to show up here and level the playing field and be like, you've been doing this wrong, and now we're back. And those of you that are on board, welcome. Those of you that aren't, you're not going to last long. You're not going to be here around for this ride.
Oh, the things that I've been learning and reading about, yeah, that is definitely on the horizon.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see it happen.
When you hear some of these guys talk about, like, you hear some of these people that have come forward about their interviews with extraterrestrials. And again, you got to take these things with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
However, some of the things that they've said that these beings have told them, like, hey, you guys are doing this wrong and you're pissing off a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
And when I say people, you're pissing off a lot of different types of extraterrestrials, and there's going to be a reckoning.
Yeah.
They're going to come here in mass, and you're going to see, you're not just going to get one. You're going to see several different types, and they're going to come down, and they're not going to be happy, and they're going to be like, we left clear fucking instructions 10,000 goddamn years ago.
Yep.
What happened? What's the problem?
Greed.
And all of a sudden, you're going to see a lot of people. You talk about a rapture, that's what you're going to see happen. Only some people are going to be gone, and they didn't go to a better place. They just got deleted.
Yeah. And I mean, there's definitely some teachings that have been bastardized. Like going back, looking at the Bible and shit. If you go back and
all religions,
well, yes, for sure. But
first of all, let's look at the oldest one that we know of: Zoroastrianism.
That was the Sumerian shit, right?
Yeah, Ahura Mazda.
Yep.
So I have studied that quite in depth. That. I don't know how much you've read into Zoroastrianism. Or Zoroastrianism, I'm sorry. But Zoroaster is... Dude... That isn't just a regional thing. That seems to encompass the whole fucking planet. And the things that they set forth are... hey, this is what this place is supposed to be. This is how y'all are supposed to be acting. And then you've got all these other religions that have come since and thousands of gods. And it's like, man, they're gonna be real fucking mad when they come back.
Even with the whole like Christian religion, you know, they talk about like all of the different gods. It's kind of weird that they all end in like L.
How about the fact that Jehovah says they cannot eat from the tree of knowledge, and the tree of life, or they will become like us. Us, bitch. Who you talking? Who's us?
Not even just that. Fucking pull up in a Bible and look at it. Start reading Genesis in the very beginning. God says, let there be light, and starts, you know, talking about all these creation things and says, let us do this. Who the fuck is he talking to?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, just that one fact, they cannot eat from this tree or they will become like us. Us?
Yeah.
That's concerning.
Yeah.
That's an acknowledgement that Jehovah ain't the end all be all. In fact, I love the supposition of Lucifer and Jehovah are not creator and creation. They are siblings.
Something that made me laugh, and I know you've studied up on witchcraft shit as well, so you'll catch the reference to this and you'll realize why it's a little funny. Why is it that, like, supposedly, like, the devil is scared of the word Jesus? If you call out in Jesus' name and the devil leaves you alone.
But that wasn't his fucking name.
That's not the point. The point is, how do you gain power over a dark entity? You call it by its name.
Yeah, its name.
It freaks out.
Its name. Yes. So, that, like, according to the lore of demonology, you have to know its name. And if you say its name, that's what gives you power and dominion over it.
Okay, and all the books that we got a hold of in those files, did you read the Key of Solomon, the Greater Key of Solomon, and all that shit?
I've read those years ago.
Okay, yeah. But if you remember in there, whenever like they give you
those came to me by way of Aleister Crowley, like my research into him.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like it was in like all the books that I got from you and from Chris, all those, like all of that shit. When I started pouring through those things, I finally read those books. I had never read them before. I wanted to. They were on my list, but I had never gotten around to read them. But whenever you start looking in there and you start reading the shit, what do they say? That when they give you the huge incantation to do, or this big ritual to summon these beings to give you like whatever it is that you ask for, like he's screaming out all of these fucking demonic names. Or what we have come to learn is like demons,
specifically quoted Belial, Abaddon, Maul, Baal.
There's all of this shit in here. Like there's a ton of these motherfuckers, and they're asking for these demonic things to come and do shit for you. And they call out the Tetragrammaton and all the fucking names of Jesus or God. And there's like bunches of these things, and it's like
Shimham Farash is listed in there. Shimham Farash, by the way, is supposed to be the actual name of Jehovah. And anyone who hears that name cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. So you're welcome, everybody listening. Again, that name is Shimham Farash. You're welcome. And
today's message has been brought to you by You're Going to Hell.
But also, what I would encourage anyone to read, if anybody has any reference what we're talking about with the Keys of Solomon and the Book of Solomon, read the Book of Enoch.
Oh, fuck!
You want to talk about a story that'll fuck you up? Yeah. Enoch was in the business of controlling angels and demons.
And let's just call it like it really was. That motherfucker got snatched up by aliens and was shown the universe.
Enoch was taken above the earth.
Yes.
And shown the earth.
Yes.
Taken on board a craft and given first-hand knowledge and came back and in the best way he could to not be burned or decapitated or whatever.
Had to tell you stories.
Yeah, told people what he experienced.
And it's a really bizarre thing.
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
And they don't want to add the Book of Enoch into the Bible.
Hell no, they don't.
I wonder why. But
the Enochian keys.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, those tie directly with the Keys of Solomon. Like those are, like Enoch was very much into angelology and demonology, and he did not differentiate them. They were one and the same.
Because they are.
They just had two different classifications. Kind of like
malevolent and benevolent.
The Elohim and the Nephilim. I believe those are the two. Yeah.
Well, the Elohim, I think that was supposed to be like the Elohim is actually like the gods. And the Nephilim were the angels or the sons of God. So you had like Gilgamesh, fucking even, David and Goliath. Like Goliath was supposedly a Nephilim.
They were the sons of gods and man.
Right, because there was the mating shit that goes on there. But yeah.
I mean, how about the tombs of giants that are being discovered all over the planet?
Oh,
have you ever heard the story?
That's not going to make it to mainstream
Have
media.
you ever heard the story of the Kandahar giant over in fucking Afghanistan or Pakistan or wherever it was?
Yeah.
That the U.S. Special Forces encountered this goddamn giant that came out of a cave.
And fucked everybody up.
And, well, he killed one of them with this giant, like, spear. And then they gunned it down.
Yeah.
And ended up having it transported out and taken to a black site where
it's probably in Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
But
sorry if I ratted you out, guys.
I've tried to talk to people about that, and they're like, "What? That sounds like bullshit." And I'm like, "No, dude, just do a search of the giant of Kandahar, and you're gonna be like, wait, these are actual reports from Special Forces operatives.
Yeah.
That okay. I mean, you can refute it if you want to.
Yeah, go tell them.
Yeah, go tell them they didn't see that shit. That they did not shoot a goddamn giant. And when I say giant, this thing was like 12 feet tall.
Oh, it's bigger than that.
Yeah, like 12 to 14 feet maybe. Giant, and they said it giant red hair. And was just huge, massive, vicious as fuck.
Like flinging boulders.
He was not happy to see them. And stabbed one directly through his torso with this spear and lifted him off the ground like he was a baby. And then the others opened fire, and apparently that firefight took like 2 to 3 minutes to finish.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Like, oh, this thing can eat bullets. Oh, are there more?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's one, there's got to be more, right?
Yeah. I mean,
but then now you're seeing these tombs of giants that range from between 8 feet and 10 to 12 feet tall, and they're mass graves. It's like, wait, what the? Like, there was one that had like 13. I think 13 skeletons in it.
Along the same lines of that shit, there was something that I watched not too terribly long ago where they were talking about if you go back into the ancient sites, like even in Egypt and other places where you have like those tall ass sculptures of like these giants that are sitting there.
Yeah.
That wasn't like an interpretation. That was like...
Yeah, the Greeks were famous for it.
That was the reference for how big these things really were. And it explains how they were able to make such big-ass structures that humans couldn't figure out how to pull that off.
Yeah, because these things could just carry the shit.
Yeah. 2-ton boulder, it's just like, hey, let me grab this fucking phone real quick and just move it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
But the average modern-day human's brain cannot even conceptualize that. They're just instantly bullshit. Just because...
It's ego.
You don't experience it. Meanwhile, Shaquille O'Neal lives on this planet.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Just look at fucking, what was it? God damn it. What's that Asian dude?
Yao Ming.
Yao Ming, yeah.
Well, I mean, but he's skinny.
Boy.
Look at Shaq. Shaq's on AEW now.
I know, I saw.
He is still, that dude's in his 40s, almost 50, and he is jacked out of his mind. That because Joe Rogan said, I got to meet Shaquille O'Neal once. He goes, because he was talking about the difference between men and women.
Yeah,
he goes, but I'm not saying all men are the same either. He goes, because I met Shaquille O'Neal, and his dick is where my face is. Like we are not the same. Goes, if we were to hold hands walking through the park, we're not the same thing. Yeah. Like that dude exists. Big Show, Paul, he exists on this planet.
Yep.
There are monstrous human
his
beings.
Thing was under, like, they explained his shit.
The pituitary gland. Yeah.
It was the tumor on his head.
Yeah, that's the same thing that happens with most giants.
Well, Andre the Giant.
Yeah. But, okay, also, look at Big Show after he had the surgery and had that tumor removed.
Oh,
he started gaining weight, got real fat. Now, look at him.
He's fucking
jacked.
ripped.
jacked. He took control of it. But the thing was, that thing being on his pituitary gland, making it constantly excrete.
He was superhuman.
He was yes. When he first came into WCW as the Giant,
he was superhuman.
He was like 7'2", weighed like 380 pounds.
So he was he was pushing 4 something.
Yeah, he wasn't even 4 yet. And he was just perfect looking. And it was like...
And he was agile.
Oh, yeah. And it was like, how does this thing exist? Yeah. That's really fucked up.
It's amazing what genetics and chemicals in your brain that are naturally there does.
And then it makes you wonder, what is it that they do to the rest of us that prevents that from reaching fruition?
It's easy.
Is it all the chemicals they put in our food and drink? And
the fact that the water is fluoridated, everything you do is fluoridated, everything that you get, it's all genetically modified.
Fluoride is a byproduct of aluminum, the making of aluminum.
Aluminum's in it's in fucking like deodorant and stuff. Like there are so many things. Oh, and not to mention like, okay, this is gonna piss some people off. Trigger warning, fuckers. But like, a lot of these vaccines have shit in them that fuck with you bad.
Oh yeah.
And you're jabbed with this shit whenever you're.
And again, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I am a person that questions what's in there.
But it's still there.
Mm-hmm. What's in there?
Yeah. I mean, we are fucked with from day one. We are completely brainwashed from the very beginning. We are lied to about all of this.
Everything.
All to keep things under control for a specific group of things who have commandeered this place and turned it into their own little personal hedonistic playground. Mm-hmm. We are slaves. Yeah. Period. And as soon as people realize and wake up and start asking for help, things will change.
Look up Stephen Greer, look up the CE5 protocols.
Yeah, there are things in this world that want to help. You just have to know where to look and how to ask.
Yep. Yeah, because apparently they're bound by an agreement that they cannot interfere
unless you ask.
Yeah, like you specifically.
It's because we have free will.
Mm-hmm.
These things that are fucking with us only fuck with you because you don't realize that in a way your rights have been signed off. The things that are fucking with
us are the same things as us. Well, maybe
there's a little difference.
There are different theories about that too. Yeah.
Like I said, I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
But it's still the same situation that we are actually sovereign beings. We should be able to be the masters of our own domain of reality. There's so many things that we should be able to do that we can't because our rights have been signed off from the very beginning, but we don't know it. But once you learn it and you realize all I have to do is this and I gain control over everything back, all right, cool, I'm doing it. That's been my biggest goal for a while, is to teach everybody how to re-evolve.
What I've learned is the people that I've opened up to that, you do have to open that book very slowly and turn the pages very slowly because
you'll miss shit.
Well, it's not even just missing shit. You overwhelm someone and you lose them.
Well, that too.
Because as much as you want to give people credit for being able to handle things, the same way you and I do, or Chris Titan. A lot of people, man, you like while we're on page 247 of the Book of Life, you can show people the first 4 or 5 pages, but as soon as you turn to page 6, they go, nope, I'm out. I'm out. And it's like, you didn't give them enough time to analyze the first 5 pages.
Well, it's not even just that. It's you shatter people's perception
their illusion
of everything.
Yeah, people do not like to have their illusionary bubble popped.
Oh yeah, it's ego.
Everyone thinks they want it to happen. They're like, dude, just shatter the bubble. Tell me what's going on. And then when you get the truth, you can't handle the truth. That's a reality.
But a lot of it's ego. People, they think that they are so special and that life is all about certain things. And it's
the problem is they're not wrong. They're just wrong in how they're perceiving how they're special.
Yeah.
Everyone on this planet is special.
Yeah.
The problem is
we're all the same, but in the same sense, we're not the same.
Right, we're not the same.
Yeah, definitely. But we're still the same. We're all connected.
Yep.
You just have to open your eyes and see how.
And that connection runs deep.
Mm-hmm.
Deep.
Yeah, but the best part
when
is...
you try to explain to someone that the connection between you and I is the same connection as you and I separately to a planet that is 200 billion light years away, a lot of people go, what? And I'm like, we're made of the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Everything in this universe. Also, one thing that really, I love showing it to people, but at the same time, I hate showing it to people. When you show someone a photograph of the universe, like just from our little rock here, but
and then pull it back?
No. You just show them the universe, and then you show them the neural network of the human brain, and you go, do you see it? And they go, why does it look exactly the same? Isn't that interesting? And some people handle it very well. Some people handle it very poorly, and they don't like it, and they can't handle what they've just been shown. And I'm like, it's all the same. It's all based on mathematics. It is. Yeah. Every single thing is mathematical in this universe.
The math is the universal language. Period.
It's the law. It's the universal law. Even everything we enjoy, music, comedy, anything that art, everything has a mathematical sequence to it.
You break it down, everything is vibrations. It's all energy and motion.
Yep.
It's frequency, it's numbers,
and
it's waves, and it's how our brains interpret those waves.
Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be manipulated, changed, but it's ever flowing.
Yeah.
It's and people.
It's time.
A lot of people really can't handle that.
Sir, I think it's time for you and I to join forces and do some sessions,
some signaling
of teaching. Time to wake some motherfuckers up. The media is not your friend. Ego is not your friend.
No. So I will say, I do still have somewhat of an ego to a point, but I have noticed over the past year, I've recognized times where I'll say things facetiously, still maintaining the ego, but then I can acknowledge outwardly, like, no, that's not really how I feel about this now. Like, yeah. But I've realized how humble I've become in regards to certain things, and the amount of humility that I've developed, and the fact that what I once regarded, like how I once regarded humility as, embarrassing, demeaning, very much weakness, and now I'm just like, man, the times that I've displayed humility, even in times where I knew I could have taken moral and intellectual superior high ground, when I displayed humility, it served everyone involved better.
Yeah. You can hear it.
Oh, fuck yeah, you can. You can hear every goddamn car when it goes by here.
Man.
God damn, dude.
He's getting it.
Yeah, he's really on a brick road, too.
Yeah.
Fucking dick.
But no, I've noticed that, too, just from... As weird as it is, the path that you and I basically got set upon after the last time I was here, seeing how that went and how you were even before that day to now, you're not the same person.
Not at all.
Like, you have a character.
Of course.
And you still can play the character.
Oh, I very much play it in public scenarios still. But just because I know that people who have known me for years, or even people who don't know me but know about me.
Right.
If they were to actually get to know the real me,
they'd be confused.
It's going to hurt them.
Be very confused.
It's actually going to cause them psychological pain. Like, they're going to be like, you're not what I thought. Shit, I don't know how to deal with this. I've had that happen, and it blows my mind because people, understandably, a lot of people expect me to act like a big dumb meathead. So sometimes that's what I have to put on just to keep the status quo.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of those people who would rather have people around me be comfortable and not on edge, because I'm a large man. I'm 6'3", 390 pounds. I have a very imposing physical presence, and I have a booming voice.
To put this in perspective, for anybody that knows me, I feel small next to Bulldog.
I'm a walking tank.
And I'm not a little dude.
No. But
yeah.
And I've got a booming voice, and I'm very loud and boisterous, but, I know that I still need to keep that comedic aspect about me and the funny,
You can't lose the fun.
Well, I mean, no, I love, but even when I want to get serious and talk about things like with people that I've just met, new people in the circle, I have to be cautious about it, and I have to proceed in a certain way because it can shut them down real goddamn quick where they don't want to have anything to do with me. And not to sound arrogant, but I honestly feel like I am one of those people who, if I let you into my bubble, if I let you into my universe, you're going to be better for it. I am one of those people that can improve your life and your outlook of life if you allow me to. The problem is, a lot of people have a hard time accepting that based on preconceived notions that they have of me.
Right. Which, going from what the stories that I had heard about you before we ever met.
Oh, he's crazy. He's funny as hell, but he's crazy.
Yeah, like I'd heard so many different things. And then the night that you and I met over at fucking Katisa's house, like it was like, he is not at all what I had heard. Like I saw the two yous. I saw the showman and the real you. Mm-hmm. But that's
because we connected very quickly.
But that's just my superpower. But I saw that shit and I was like, there's something with this, and that's why we fucking clicked because there was a weird connection in there.
I knew as soon as I met you, I was like, oh, okay, this is a dude that I'm going to have some good conversation with tonight.
Yeah, because we're not normal.
Right.
Not normal.
And it's like your son, Justin. Yeah. Same thing. Like as soon as I started talking to that kid, I was like,
he's different.
Yeah, he's very much not in the norm.
I can't wait for you to meet Kia, my youngest.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I finally get my podcast shit up and running and you come down and do one, I'm going to make sure she's there. That girl will fuck your whole world up. 17 years old and just will wreck your thoughts because the shit that she says and what she's different. She is like weird different.
That's awesome.
And I love it. Like, watching her fuck with people is like a joy. Every time it happens, I'm just like, proud parent moment. Just because people don't know how to deal with her. They're like, I can't even argue against you. Like, you fuck us all up every time. That's just how she is. I raised her like that from a little, when she was younger. Question everything.
See, that's the other thing that I do with people is the woman in my life that I was speaking about who I'm like, look, you have to look beyond this scope of vision and back up and see if you can see more. The other thing that I've explained to her is I'll challenge you on anything. Even if what you said I agree with. If you say it in a way that I feel lacked conviction.
Yeah. If you sense the doubt.
I'll challenge you. And I'll play devil's advocate and go against you. And I can spout things that I wholeheartedly disagree with.
Me too.
With conviction.
Me too.
It's an exercise that I enjoy. I love it. I think that it allows my brain to... I think it's carved new neural pathways in my brain the past few years I've been doing that exercise.
I 1000% agree with you.
And I love to challenge people. Even if what they said I wholeheartedly agree with, I want to find out how strong your conviction is.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it backfires and it pisses people off at me. And I'm like, but it shows me more about them than it does about me. Because I'm like, oh, so I get that you do feel this way about what you said. But now your personal feelings have become involved and you've gotten psychologically upset over this. And you don't have the mental... strength. Yeah, the psychological strength to be challenged on it. And I explained to that woman, I was like, the one thing that I don't like is people who display mental weakness.
True.
Because especially when you see the depth of intelligence in someone, just the fucking far reaches of intelligence, and you're like, but then you
yeah. When you see the potential that they...
Yes. That is one of the most irritating, which I do it to people too. Mm-hmm. I know, dude, Rudy, my best friend.
Fuck Rudy.
Right? Fuck Rudy. That guy, I mean, he has told me so many times, he's like, dude, you have all the potential in the fucking world. You have so many gifts and talents, and for whatever reason, you can't figure out a way to make them work for you, and it aggravates me and so many other people to no end. And I've heard it from so many people in my life. Trust me, it aggravates me to no end too.
Yeah.
I get it. Trust me. I'm the one that lives with it every day. I've just learned now to embrace and accept these gifts and talents that I have. And if I can use them to help someone else in any way, I will. But what I have learned in my adult life is that these gifts and talents that I have, if I try to utilize them in any way to benefit myself, it will fall apart. If I say that you have a business that you're starting, I could give you every idea and backing in the world. I can help you build this. But if I'm going to receive a dime from this, it will fall apart.
It's because that's part of what you were supposed to do.
I'm amused.
Well, the talk of the Savage Land it's playful. It's comical. You know, it fits into the King of Villains persona and all this other shit, but it's
I could never actually be the ruler of the Savage Land. I would have to be the person standing next to.
No, you would. Because you have the ability to be the voice, but you would need somebody else to help manipulate.
Yes.
That's the way I am. I can be the mouthpiece, I could do the things, but I'm not best suited for that. Like, Justin and all my other friends call me Batman because of the way my brain works. Like, that's me. I would rather be sitting back in the back, watching everything happen, and being like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, I'm doing this, and just, like playing chess, just moving pieces around.
Like the secretary of defense.
But if I have to be the one to sit up there and talk to the monkeys and do all this other shit, I'm not as effective as I could be.
See, and I know that I have that capability. So, like I used to stand in a ring and on a stage and captivate hundreds or thousands of people and just have them hang on every word. I know that I can do that.
I can do it. It's not.
But even my artistic abilities and my music ability, like, okay, here's the thing. You know that Chris Titan, I don't know if you know this, but he's doing a lot of like FPV drone videos now, like first person view. He's got this little first person view where he wears the goggles.
Sweet. No, I haven't.
These
been songs, a minute since I talked to him.
Songs that I make and I send to you, he uses them in his drone videos.
That's cool.
And he credits, my business entity as the creator of this music. I give him full free reign to use it. Now imagine if I were to try to use my own music in any of my business stuff where it's going to make me money.
Now I see why you made the comment when I told you that I was going to write my own shit for my show, and you're like, are you sure you want to do that?
Right.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
Right. Because, like, okay, setting up your podcast. I can help you. I can show you how to do everything. But if you were to ever say, dude, look, I've monetized this. Like, I'm making money. I want to offer you a percentage. Do you know that I would have to flat out say, you can't do that?
But that's the reason why I would still do it.
You could.
But I would be different.
No, I would literally refuse anything you offered me by way of what came to you through your show.
But it would be, okay, in the situation of that, it would be more so along the lines of, like...
And that's me looking out for you.
Well, but I mean, for me, it would be like, hey, do you need, if you were into a situation to where it was like, oh, this was fucking cool, and if I found it, I'd get it for you.
But it could not be a monetary, like, you couldn't give me a piece.
I wouldn't just walk up and be like, here's
hey,
$1,000.
Like, hey, I want to bring you in like 10% of my show, but
right.
I'd be like, absolutely not. Cannot do it. I can't accept anything monetarily from you. Your shit will be destroyed. It will collapse.
It depends. I can kind of see that, but I also agree that depending on how it's done. The transference of like goods
I've had
and
too
services,
many things. I've had too many things happen that way.
I don't view things the same way as normal people would either.
You would. Once it was gone, you would go, holy shit, how did this crumble so fast? And I'd be like, Jenga, bitch. You grabbed the wrong piece and you put it in the wrong place.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying I've got 3 or 4 instances of this.
Yeah.
I have dozens and dozens of instances of this in my adult life.
My whole purpose for what I want to do for starting this
I've helped
to
people.
teach.
I've helped people I know become millionaires. I couldn't benefit from it.
Well,
I owned a company with 2 friends that took off huge, and then it collapsed, and I sold the company and got the fuck out because it all fell to me, and it was going to kill me.
fair.
Like it grew way too big, way too fast, and the partners got lazy, didn't want to do anything.
Well, maybe it's just that's what your I guess role
That's my
on this
superpower.
mudball.
I can help people do so many things as long as it's not benefiting me.
Fair.
I get the satisfaction of it. I love helping people.
I'm wondering if there's some kind of an energetic block that's stopping that. Whatever the reason it could be.
Whatever it is. Yeah, I've wondered it too. I've tried to do work to release that. But let me just point out. Let me just point out without going into specifics, but look at my business that I started last year and the things that have happened in that to try to halt and hinder me.
True.
Two instances have happened that are the same fucking thing.
Oh, so what just happened recently happened again?
That's what happened the first time when I was going to have to sell my guitar.
Ah, I see.
At what point do I have to accept, okay, look, I have to go steadily in this. And look, I've made good money doing what I do with my business. But I also have to be prepared for those sacrifices. Yep. The universe demands sacrifice for giving you what you want, right? You know that.
It sounds to me almost like you were paying off weird past karmatic debts in this go round.
Brother, I have said that so many times in my life. I'm like, what was my last life or past few lives like? How great were they that this is the life where I'm paying the dues?
Or maybe it was a weird situation that you benefited off the backs of other people for a while.
That's what I'm saying.
Biting you in the ass. Well, then what you need to do is you need to do some meditation. You need to go inward and you need to ask yourself, because yourself is going to know everything you've been through, and just be like, how do I put this to rest and clear this karma so I can be of my highest good? To help people do what they need to do, but for me to be able to help them do this without having bad shit happen. Start asking for those questions. But you're going to have to ask yourself.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've done a little bit of that introspective work, but the problem is it's one of those, like, anytime I do it, it honestly feels like it is just this is your lot. Like the answer I feel I get is this is your lot, dude. For this life, this is what you're stuck with. This is what you've gotta do. You're paying off this debt.
But when is it considered paid?
When this life is done.
But is it though?
Oh, I feel that what I've paid in this life, the things that I've been through, just personally, financially.
I've seen you on both swings of things.
Yeah, and even growing up, everything that happened in my childhood and all that. I feel like it's one of those. I know a few other people who are like, yeah, I had a rough childhood too, but then when we get into the detail,
specifics.
specifics.
Yeah.
They're like, oh fuck, okay, yeah, like, and I hate trying to do comparative and be like, well, mine's worse than yours, because I don't
It's
ever,
all perspective. It's
yeah,
all.
I don't ever
yeah.
try to diminish somebody. I'm just like, well, this is what I dealt with, and leave it to them. And typically, most people go, oh, yeah, that's way different. Like, man, I experienced this, but holy shit. And I'm like, yeah, like, and then I kind of lose them because they're like, oh, well, I thought I understood and connected, but I really don't have a connection to this. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But no, I feel like I've paid in coming up next Monday, 42 years. I've paid more than most people could in 120, 160.
Well, sooner or later, it's got to change. And
Right.
I don't
be
think
like when I'm like 70.
No, I don't believe that. I really think if you put in some work and you did a few little things, you would get the answers you need. And you could be able to make amends with whatever the fuck it is that whatever thing it was that you made this deal with, which I have an idea what it is. But whenever you finally basically get to the stage where you can communicate with this thing again and tell them,
what if this is the life I agreed to?
It is.
Before taking on this vessel.
But it's because of the fact that you made that deal. But once you feel like you have learned the lesson as to why you have to pay off that karmatic debt, and you get that...
Do you think the deal could be nullified?
Absolutely. Because once
I've never actually considered that.
Yeah, once you learn the lesson that you were supposed to learn, which in this situation, it sounds like you were a dick in the past, and now you're having to deal with this shit now, that you may have manipulated people or used them to get to what you want and all this other shit, and now you have to be able to help people without gaining any kind of profit from it. It's a humbling experience. So for you, it's going to be, okay, I have done the work, I have put in this shit, I learned the lesson that it's not just about me, but it's about helping humanity as a whole and trying to raise people up. You know, and you make that conversation and you make that point, and you're like, I have for real learned my lesson and I know now what needs to be done. I got a feeling that the holder of the contract is going to be like, prove it. And you go about doing your shit. But when you start slipping again, oh, they going to come check your ass. So you're going to have to be mindful of it. But I really 100% believe that if you do the work, you do the shadow work, and you ask them questions, you'll change. You'll get everything altered.
See, and that's one thing, like how you said being mindful of it. These, the past 2 to 3 years, I've really focused on mindfulness. Mm-hmm. I actually bought this great book on being mindful of situations, and it has brought a lot of peace into my life and how I resolve conflicts with other people, how I present it to them, like without screaming and yelling, without blowing up. I've found that and it's one of those, finding the results are far more favorable. The catching more flies with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I've really worked on being mindful. Now there are always going to be instances where
that goes out the window.
Mindfulness is there in play in the beginning, and mindfulness is not getting the desired result.
Right.
So now we're back to brute force, and I'm going to break your will.
Sometimes that's necessary.
I feel the exact same way.
But the way that I look at it too is, in that situation, you have to ask yourself at that point,
have you given them enough chances?
No, not even just that. Not even that. But you can go about it that way too, but it's more so along the lines of, if this person is doing this and they keep exhibiting this behavior, is it really my part to become the hand of karma to bite this motherfucker in the ass? Or should I just back up and let karma deal with it itself?
And do you know what that boils down to? How much do I care about this person?
To a point, yeah.
If I don't care that much...
No, hammer smash face.
Nope. No, opposite. Excommunicated. You're gone. Goodbye. You're out.
Then
You don't.
That's
no
not
longer.
bad either.
You no longer get to dwell in my universe.
Yeah, in a way, that's not bad either.
But if I care about you, that's when the hammer will come down and I'll break it and then I'll rebuild it.
Which that is, and then in that situation, that's fine, because I don't have a problem. Like, think about it like in the olden days, you spank your child to teach him a lesson. But then you have to explain to them, this is why this happened.
That's the problem where, now you're not supposed to spank your kids and all this. And well, that's part of the problem is people just started beating their kids' ass, but never gave the reconciliation after of, do you understand why this happened?
Yeah, you have to give them that answer.
Right.
If you don't,
because otherwise you're going to raise a violent psychopath. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, because they're going to understand.
That's basically what happened with me. Mm-hmm. And I got out when I was 14 and managed to have enough love, as I've said many times, from my grandparents and my dad and my stepmom to save me and salvage me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would be either in prison for life or would have already been executed.
Probably.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Even knowing what,
if I would have gone into full adulthood, still being in that situation.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely would have murdered people with no regard. Mm-hmm. No regard to myself, no regard to who it's affecting, how it's affecting them.
Totally get it. Totally get it.
No fucks. And probably would have even, dude, one guy that I can relate with so well is that Kuklinski guy, the Iceman.
Yeah.
Other people look at him and they're just like, man, that guy's just crazy as fuck. I look at him and I'm like, I get him, because that dude is not crazy. He was not crazy as fuck. He could kill people indiscriminately for money. Didn't matter. Mm-hmm. But look what happened when he talked about his wife and kids. He started crying on camera. And then he even says, he goes, man, you got the Iceman crying on film. That's not real manly, is it? But man, when it came to his wife and kids, the people he cared about, human beyond human.
Yeah.
Like white zombie, more human than human.
Well, that all goes to the aspect of, let's get a little hippie here, talking about chakra shit. As soon as your heart chakra opens up, your entire perception of everything changes. You can't look at things the same way. But
the fact is, and the thing is, his wife never knew
what he did.
No, never. But she also, anytime he left the house abruptly, she didn't question him. Mm-hmm. Like, she was like, he has it. I knew he had a temper, but he never displayed that temper toward me or the children.
Yep.
But I knew not to question things that he was doing or whatever. And he came home to me every night. And in all honesty, how fantastic of a woman is that woman?
See, that's where you're going to get two different answers from a lot of people.
Look, I'm not saying she's just this subservient woman. No, because if you paid attention to any of the Iceman tapes or whatever, and when they're talking about their dynamic, and he talks about her, he's like, man, she made me do everything. Like she would boss him around. She wasn't some little lie down floor mat, that he walked all over.
Right.
No, but
she respected him.
They respected each other. Mm-hmm. And she knew her place just as he knew his.
Man.
Like outside those doors, he's a fucking stone cold killer. At home, just like any celebrity. Outside the doors of their house, oh, dude, that's Nicolas Cage. Oh, that's John Travolta. At home, oh, shut up, Dad.
Yeah.
Shut up, Dad.
Yep.
Like that. Dave Grohl has talked about that. Like my kid thinks I'm the biggest dork on the planet. Like, look at Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park.
Yeah.
Trey Parker was talking about it. His daughter said something about derpy or derp, and he goes, "I made up that fucking word." And she's like, "Whatever, Dad." Like, they are so disregarded in their own home. And that was Kuklinski, like that was the Iceman at home. He was just dad and husband. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying, like, how great of a woman was she to be like that? There's a quote that I love. Joe Rogan's mentioned it so many times, so have several other people that I listen to, but Most men live lives of quiet desperation.
Mm-hmm.
That dude didn't.
Yeah.
He loved his wife, loved his children, and loved what he did. Actually, he was just ambivalent to what he did. Like, when he talks about killing people, he's like, I mean, what do you want me to say? You know, it's just killing somebody.
Yeah, he did.
Totally indifferent to it. There was nothing about it. Like Otis says in House of a Thousand Corpses, hunting humans ain't nothing but nothing. They all run like scared little rabbits.
Yep.
And that's the reality of most human beings. Yeah. Whereas you have people like me on this earth who are like, I can't be a victim like that.
Yeah.
Like, you would never be able to pull a gun on me and make me beg for my life. You won't get me to hand you my wallet. Mm-mm. It's not fucking happening. Mm-mm. You're either going to kill me or you're not. And if you don't, you're going to suffer.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you suffer. I'm not just going to kill you. I'm going to torture you to death for putting me in that situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's, whenever I talk about things like that with common folk,
they don't get it.
Well, fuck no, dude. They think I'm just this raging psychopath. And I'm like, you're the kind of person that you not only will you get you killed, but you'll get your whole goddamn family killed. I have an understanding with my father. If someone were ever, like, I try to explain to people, I have no liabilities.
Yeah.
You cannot hold anything over me. Mm-hmm. You can't. My dad and I have an understanding. If someone were ever to fucking abduct him and try to hold him to get to me or use him against me, I'm assuming he's dead. I'm not out for recovery. I'm out for vengeance. Mm-hmm. And I'm not coming for you. If I can find out who you are, you have loved ones.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going after your family. I don't care if it's a third cousin twice removed. If you have any semblance of care or concern for them, I am the goddamn KGB from 1980.
That don't give a fuck.
That fucked with Al-Qaeda or the Taliban or whatever when they abducted those the two Russian diplomats or whatever and tried to hold them to get political prisoners out of the Russian prisons. And and Putin, who was in charge of the fucking KGB, didn't send them after the fucking terrorists. They went and got their families and then sent them video of these Russian fucking like Spetsnaz soldiers holding AK-47s to their dome saying, you got 24 hours to release our people or we're going to kill your whole goddamn family. Yeah. And that shit was done. And that's why literally they don't fuck with Russia. They'll fuck with every other country. They don't fuck with Russians.
Yeah, because Russians
are crazy.
Well, no, they're efficient.
They're effective. Yeah, they're effective.
I mean, like I've told people before too. Like I try to be like the whole love and light kind of thing, you know. And I'm cool.
Look,
with some
I project that too, but there's got to be a balance. That's what our lives are all about: is the balance.
I've always preached.
You
balance.
Cannot be only good.
No, you can't. You have to be able to see both sides of every story.
You have to be able to
understand it.
You have to be able to play both sides. You have to be both good and evil.
Well, and we had this conversation the last time I was here too. Like, and you said it as well. Like, we all have, like on Dexter, your dark passenger.
Fuck yeah.
Mine just happens to not give a fuck about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I've looked people in their face. On a few certain occasions, there are like 3 people that I've said this to, point blank, locked eyes, and said, here's what you don't understand about me. I'll put both of us in our graves to prove a point. Neither you or I will get to experience the point, but everyone left here will understand perfectly.
Yeah. But not everybody sees it like that.
Right. Because people want to think that they can have some kind of dominion or control over other people. That's why this whole, like, people that get upset about the mask thing. God damn, dude, that's all this has turned into is people wanting to have dominion and control over other people. Mm-hmm. Where's your mask? Put your mask on. No, just because you're doing something. Look, you've got your mask on. You've got your mask on. You're practicing social distancing. Good for you. What's that got to do with me? Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to get close to you. Fuck off.
Like I laugh about that shit. Somebody was, he was talking about his output on this, and it was, where's your mask at? And he was just like, where's your umbrella? What do you mean? Well, they said there's a 20% chance of rain. Well, that's only 20%. Why do I need an umbrella? Yeah, it's a 0.3 that anything's going to happen to me.
Right.
Why do I need a mask? And the person's like, what? It's like, yeah, have a nice day, fucker.
Yeah, when I tell people, point blank, when they ask me about the mask and I say, I'm not participating, that must be, like, that's just what I developed as soon as all this started. Like, oh, I'm not participating in this. That apparently is the equivalent of looking someone in the eye and telling them that you just fucked their mother in the ass.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Oh my God. When you tell them you're not participating.
Ooh, here's my other favorite one. Where's your mask at? I identify as a masked person. Well, you can't do that. You identify as a vegetable. Why can't I do the same thing? Is it not... Does the street not go both ways? Is that not how this works? Like, I can't say that, and that's not a thing, huh? Okay, cool. Yeah. People don't like shit.
No. Well, and they don't like... When someone has something set in their mind, most people don't like being challenged on it. Also, when people have brought up the whole thing of COVID to me and I start spouting off the statistics of it, and the fact that the mask that they're wearing is doing absolutely nothing for them.
Nope.
They don't want to hear that. They don't like, oh, but I had this little custom cloth mask made by my friend Catherine. Well, your friend Catherine's a moron, and so are you. Because that thing's not blocking COVID.
If I come up to you and I rip the most most heinous fart you've ever heard in your life, one that would just like melt leaves off trees, and it goes right up in your snoot and you start gagging, what do you think that mask is doing?
Exactly.
Nothing. You still smell that ass. Like, you smell ass. You can't get away from it. You know, you're wearing a fucking mask that is opened on the sides. Shit goes through.
Even if they've got the one that kind of sticks to your face, if it's not N95 particulate mask, it's not blocking the 0.125 micron that COVID-19 functions at. All these other masks block 0.3 micron. That's over twice the size.
Yeah, but you can't reason with certain people. They don't.
You can't reason with most people. Because what the news and media has told them is the gospel. Even though the news and media and World Health Organization and Center for Disease Controls have changed their fucking story 15 goddamn times since this whole thing started. Also, we're at like 500,000 dead. Okay? 500,000 dead last year. Well, guess what, jackass? The same thing happens every year from the flu, but then at the beginning of this year, they want to tell me, oh, flu deaths were down 98% last year. Do I have cunt written across my forehead? No. I don't. I'm a rational person with a fucking fully functioning brain.
That's what the part that bothers me is the people that follow this, like all of this shit so blindly. Like, I have to wear a mask at work all the time. I bitch about it because I think it's dumb. Whatever. You know,
that's the other reason why I would never take a job again.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't mind doing the shit for the most part if I voluntarily do it for me, just to avoid listening to the people's mouths. Doesn't affect me. It's not inconvenient. I'll do it if I have to. But if somebody comes up and they see me without one and bitch, fight me. Let's have a verbal debate. Let's see if you can fucking prove me wrong. And when I have you threatening to kill my entire family because I done hurt your fifis, deal with it. I mean...
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah, facts don't care about your feelings, and right now I don't either. You know, it is what it is.
Well, fuck, dude. We've run... Oh, my God. You know, we went over 3.5 hours. Holy shit.
Time flies when you're having fun, people.
No shit. This is a good jumping off point.
Yeah.
I have to have you come back again soon.
Yeah.
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 We need to start making this a regular thing.
It's only an hour drive. I ain't scared.
Right.
And I mean, we'll be doing the same shit back in the Berg sometime soon.
Yeah, on your show. All right, Jimmy,
yes,
thanks for coming in.
Oh, fuck, it's been great.
I am the King of Villains, Bulldog Malenko. This has been the Bulldog Unchained podcast, and thanks for listening. We'll talk to you guys later.
Stay savage, people.